Okay, Rupesh, can you hear me, Rupesh? I think the sound is there. We'll just start in 1 minute time. Actually, other group members are joining.
The sound is there. Hi, good morning, Nitish here.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, sir.
Yeah, I guess the sound is pretty clear.
Sir.
We may wait for a few minutes so that others could join, and then we may start. Okay?
Hello, Nitish.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you can start with his introduction.
Yes, sir.
I'm actually in remote area. My signal is weak, so my video is not there. Good morning, Shreyas, and best wishes.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Yeah.
Yes,
like
we
last
already
time,
have 68 participants. Sir.
Yeah. Oh, yes, you can start the session now. Like last time, you can have a marathon session of 2 to 3 hours.
Yes, sir.
And you hope your health is okay, because last time you were in the COVID, still you conducted 2.5 hour, 3 hour session.
Yes, sir. Last time it was very tough. I mean, COVID thing and everything, fever and all. But this time I hope to do justice to the course.
Yes. All the best to you. Nitish, please introduce Shreyas and
Yes. Very good morning to each and everyone who have joined the session. Many of you might have just appeared for the civil service mains, and some of you are dedicatedly preparing for this Indian Forest Services exam. So this session is for you. I can see a very good response of around 75 participants from all over the country are here, have joined the session. Last year also we conducted this session with Shreyas Srivastava sir, and it was a marathon session as measured by Mahesh Bhagwat sir, and it was very beneficial for all of the aspirants who appeared for the mains. So without wasting much time, I would start with the formal introduction of Shreyas. By the way, this is Nitish Pathode. I'm a Deputy Commissioner of 2016 batch, presently posted in Mumbai Customs Airport. So I would start with Shreyas' formal introduction. He is an Indian Forest Service officer of 2021 batch in the Madhya Pradesh cadre. Currently, he is undergoing training at Indira Gandhi National Forest Academy, Dehradun. He has done his BTech in Electronics and Communication from IIIT Allahabad. He has also corporate experience working in Deloitte. He has long experience of appearing for the UPSC exam. He has given around 6 interviews, 4 civil services and 2 forest services. He got one of the highest mark in interview of 213 marks. He belongs to Bhopal, MP, and he is very passionate about wildlife, especially tigers, and would love to pursue his career as an IFS officer. He is a 3rd generation civil servant in his family. Great to have you, Shreyas, with us.
Thank you so much, sir.
And, yes, and I guess this will be a very enriching experience for all the aspirants. And I know that this is going to be a marathon session. So stay tuned and make most out of it. Over to you, Shreyas.
Thank you so much, sir. First of all, good morning to everyone. And I would first say, like, big congratulations for just clearing this IFS prelims exam. I mean, I know how much effort it takes. I mean, clearing civil services prelims is tough enough, and clearing IFS prelims is just another level. So, I mean, big congratulations. And I call this the golden year, because this year there are as you must be aware, there are 151 seats. And in our batch, there was only 89. So this is a golden chance to get selected. And these 2 months are enough. First of all, every year, I mean, I'll answer this question first, that are 2 months sufficient? Every year you will have such candidates that will only prepare for 2 months and they will be able to get selected with a good rank. And that's the nature of the exam, and that I'll deal with it in the later session. So I mean, so just prepare everything. Like in these 2 months, just give it your all. And the best advantage is that the moment you give civil services means, you must have understood that in the last 10 days of civil services preparation, I mean, you have to prepare so much, and that is actually very beneficial, because I mean, your tempo is so high, you can read so many things. What you can study in the last 10 days, probably you would have studied in the last 1.5 months. So your efficiency is very high, and keep it up. And that is what is needed to get selected this time. So I'll mention how we are going to conduct the session. So I'll be dealing with 4 papers, that is English, GK, Forestry and Agriculture Engineering, in the same order. And first of all, feel free to ask your doubts. I want it to be an interactive session, and make sure that all of your doubts are cleared in this session only. So whenever I'm speaking, you can mention your question in the chat box and I will answer it to you. And if someone wants to ask a question, they can raise their hand and I will answer it. So that, I mean, don't wait for the end. Like, I will take certain pauses in between and answer all the questions. But if there is some question which I have on some topic that I mentioned in the paper, then definitely raise your hand and I will point out to you and you will answer it. You will ask the question so that all the doubts are cleared. So this will be a pattern, and after every paper I will also take a pause in which you people can ask even more questions regarding it. So acha, and one more thing I would want is that please open your forestry and agriculture engineering syllabus. I mean, those who have forestry optional, at least open that syllabus in your tab, or have it in printed with you, because I'll be dealing it topic wise. So that will be great. Just 1 minute. Yeah. So first, we'll start with English. So, I mean, all of you have given civil services exam, so you must have witnessed that English paper. So here the thing is that this is a very compulsory paper and its marks are added. It's 300 mark paper. And I should tell you that it is very important because it is a huge difference maker, sometimes even more than optional paper. I remember in my first attempt, it was only because I scored. I can speak English very well, but it's just that I did not understand. I did not prepare properly for English paper. I thought I will answer it just like I do for civil services, and there was a huge marking difference. Like, I scored 140 marks, and the rank holders were got around 180, 190. So that was like 40-50 mark paper that nullified my entire good score of optional exam. So please prepare it. There's one book, R. Gupta, for IFS English. It has GK paper also. R. Gupta. I'll share the links of all the books in my Telegram group, so you can take it later from that. So R. Gupta book, and even in that is R. Gupta book is available in Kumar Book Center in ORN, and also even some of you have like I had Arihant English book. So that I used to do in my IFS mains paper. So in civil services mains, so that English book is sufficient to prepare for this. So these 2 books, actually the strategy is that you will never be able to spend like 1 week for English, because it would be a waste of time. That would be very inefficient. So the strategy is that instead of doing this, you should prepare for English like 10-15 minutes a day. Like, my strategy was that I would prepare late at night, when just before sleeping, half an hour, 10-15 minutes, half an hour on one topic or the other. I had printed out, like, let's say, last 7-8 years question papers, and then even this R. Gupta book, I would see one question at a time. So because if you are not preparing now, you will never prepare in the last 15 days, because you will be in panic mode. Okay, I have to prepare your optional papers, and at that time it makes no sense to prepare English that well. So prepare it now, just 10-15 minutes every day, and that it will suffice for it. So I'll first of all go the question wise in English. So there's one. Okay, I'll answer test series for forestry and agriculture engineering. when I come to that. So when it comes to English, the first question it is there is a 300 mark paper. So you must understand that optional papers are, even though they are better scoring than English, they are 400 marks combined paper 1 and paper 2, whereas English is itself 300 marks. So we should be smart about it. So the first question is essay. Essay is 1/3 mark, that is 100 marks for the entire paper. And trust me, it is very important because it is different from civil services. In civil services, your content is very important, how you write, what quotations you write, what all the parameters that you've answered for. In English, it is not the same. In English, your English is more important. For example, let's say if the topic is somewhere related to education. So in the same, if we write a GS answer or for essay in it, we would be focused on what all education points have you written, what all committees names you have mentioned, and what all examples and case studies. Here, your grammatical mistakes are important, and for every mistake, there is a half mark deduction. In essay, for example, there is a comma full stop error, half mark reduced. There is a spelling mistake, I have always added, like my mistake was that I used to write in capital letters, many of the questions, like I would just start from capital because it was my GS paper answer writing skills, but that will lead to half mark or 1 mark. So you should always be focused on having a good para structure. Your indentation should be correct. New para should be found very well. Capital small letter should be correct. Then comma full stop, all these kinds of English grammatical mistakes you should avoid. Content is okay. Content, it's like it should be, if the topic is education or if the topic is environment, then it should be related to the environment. You cannot speak on be writing on another topic on it, but spend your entire time focusing on this only. Like in GS essay, we give, let's say, 10-15 minutes on the essay part, we'll structure it out and then write it. Here, just like 2-3 minutes spend on the structure, and then focus your entire essay topic on how you are writing it grammatically, and that will help you score marks. And you must understand that it is English, despite the fact the essay they are giving very less marks, because as you'll discuss later, in grammar most people are able to score 40 plus out of 50 marks, yet we are scoring only like 140-150 marks in overall English. So that means the essay marking is very less, but it is still a difference maker, because at least 10-15 marks difference you can create in an essay. The second question would be letter and report. And this is also a very big difference maker. What strategy I will recommend it to you, because let's say for letter and report, there are many formats that come. You will read in that R Gupta book or Arihant book, or even online. There are many YouTube channels also. So refer those YouTube channels smartly. So in those, what I did was I prepared once, like for a letter, there are many formats, like some use comma full stop in it, otherwise, and there are some indentation. My strategy was no comma anywhere, just everything on the left side, not even a single indentation. And prepare one structure and always note it, because if you will see previous year question paper, these letter and report questions are the same. They just, the name changes or the situation changes, otherwise the situation is the same. So I prepared like 4-5 page notes in which I would note down the best, some best quotations or best letters, some best wording that I will write, or some best sentences that I think I will add in this one common structure. So go through multiple letters, prepare your own strategy, at least one format, and in which some formal sentences would be ready beforehand. So whatever the situation is, you just have to change the name and write it down. Same is the case with report. Prepare one format, prepare it very well, make notes regarding it, know the structure, go through previous year's question paper, and you will get an idea. I mean, just 3-4 years question paper, if you see, you will know, okay, this is just the same question, the situation has changed. So that way you will save time also in the exam, and then you will score marks also. Because at that time in the exam hall, it would be very difficult to think out of the box, and especially since we are not preparing on it. Any specific YouTube channel? Yeah, I'll share it in my Telegram channel. I'm not able to recollect it right now. Actually, matlab, you will, if you will search online, na, you will get quite a few channels. So that won't be an issue. Just search it. I don't remember it right now, but if there is some channel, I'll share it later. But be smart internet. I mean, if you search YouTube, you will get quite a few topics on it. So just. Sorry. So that this will help you. Okay, I'll share my Telegram ID. If there is someone from my Telegram group, you can share it in this link. But I'll share my Telegram ID. And do you need to address in letter format? Okay, I'll share my sample report that I wrote. I'll see if I have it in my notes. But actually, I have it in my home. And when I go to during my break, I'll search it and send it to you. But even if you search it online, or even read that R Gupta book, just like it does not take that much of time. You will know, okay, what sort of format you are impressed by and what is better, and just make notes on it. So that will help you on it. It just takes like I mean, like 15-day session, 15-minute session, like 2-3 days, you will understand, okay, this is the letter format that I want to write, or this is the report format that I'm preferring, because there are many formats to it. I'm not understanding this question. Do you need address in letter format? Address, I think, no, you don't need to write address. You just write random XYZ or what they have mentioned. To whom they are, no, that is not at all needed. And I always used to write XYZ or some random address in New Delhi. But for me, it is always XYZ, ABC, something like that. Okay, I'll share I have not written it for GK in English because you don't need, there are no test series for GK in English as such, and you don't need as such. Especially for GK, your civil services preparation will suffice. And I'll come to that, but that is not at all needed. Answering to the earlier question, the address is just ABCXYZ, and you don't never mention your name, or if it is mentioned, mention New Delhi something. So then the next part, this I answered for letter in report. Read some formats of letter in report and you will understand, and prepare notes on it. And then you can, like, you just have to just write your prepared sentences only in the exam. There is nothing new there in this sort of question. The next part is the 50 marker Pressy, and probably this is the single biggest difference maker. So Pressy means, let's say they have given you a passage of 600 words, and then you have to write it in your own words in 200 words, 1/3. And this is the tough part. And the question is, write it in your own words. And trust me, you must have given civil services English. What we do is we read 2-3 sentences starting and we compress it. We delete something, we compress it, and that will not fetch you marks, because the question is that you have to write it in your own words, in your own order. And for that, what I will recommend it to you, like my strategy was, I used to start from the second or third paragraph, so that the examiner is confused, or he thinks that, okay, I'm writing it in, I must have written it in my own words since I've jumbled up the order. So this is a simple way to get marks. The other strategy is that, I mean, if you are really good at it, then you can, some people, like one of my friends, he was very good and he used to like write it completely in his own words, not even looking at once. He would understand the para and then write it in his own words. But if time is less, this sort of strategy is better, to jumble up the order of information and write every sentence in your own word, and that will fetch you marks. Otherwise, this 50 marker, you must understand that this letter and report, they are combined 50 marks, but this Pressy itself is 50 marks, and which is seems so simple, like anybody can do that. You give this to a school child and he will obviously compress it to 1/3 of the paragraph. But in order to get marks, your language should be your own. And I cannot tell you, no, Pressy, the order is not the issue. The issue is that information you should, the basis of Pressy is that you should understand what is written in a concise manner. So this changing the order is one of the strategies that we employ. Okay? But even if you do not change the order, but if you completely write in your own words, it is correct. So the order is like, it was my, I don't think I was that good in it in my earlier like civil services exam. So this is strategy that I adopted for it. But if your English is good and you think that, okay, you can write, so the other strategy is read one paragraph, because like 600 words would be divided into 4 or 5 paragraphs, let's say of 120 words each. So read 120 words and then write it in your own words in 40 words. So this is the strategy that can be adopted, but practice it beforehand. Like take 1 or 2 Pressy from the previous exam and then write it, and you will understand how tough it is actually to do it in the pressure of exam. The other thing is that time is less, and this 50 marker, if we try to do it a lot, it will spend a lot of time. So I actually, in my exam, I started from my Prezi, and I think I took a lot of time, and because of that I had to rush into my other topics. So this is like, just manage your time properly in this. So I think right now the order I answered this question. The other question is the same comprehension, 50 marker, very simple but very deceptively tough. Another thing is that here you have to write it in your own words, and because there are 5 questions in that comprehension, all of 12 marks, 12 marks each. And the thing is that you will, the answer will be there in the paragraph, but if you copy it word to word, you will get 1 or 2 marks, very less marks, trust me. And because of that, like compulsory, like I made a decision that I will not use the words written in the comprehension. I will write it in my own language. Whether that answer is like 2 lines or filling the entire space, I will write it in my own words. And that is the strategy, because this 50 marker, these are the difference makers. The other, I don't think it will matter that much, but these Prezi and comprehension, I found them to be very tough. The last question that we have in English is the grammar part. Grammar part is 50 marks. The last question in grammar is like this, making noun and adjective, something like that. So that is 10 marks in itself, and go through previous 10 years question paper, memorize all those grammar and making nouns and adjectives. And like, this is a short 10 marker, and that 10 marks should be short for sure. We go, I mean, in our Gupta book it is mentioned, and even in general English it is mentioned. So read this part well. In grammar, actually it is very high scoring. If you see the marking, like in our exam we were getting like 130, 140, and most of us, the good candidates, would be able to score 40, 45 marks in this grammar out of 50. So that means out of the total marks that we are getting, 1/3 of marks are from the grammar section only. And this actually shows that, first of all, how low we are scoring in the other sections and how high we are scoring in grammar section. So grammar section, you should be able to score 40, 45 at least, and in an efficient manner, because there is no point spending 1 hour on grammar portion. Instead, like I completed my grammar portion in like 20 minutes only. So that way I could use that time to write a better Prezi, better comprehension, better essay, and that will help. So this is like in grammar, like all those typical types of questions are there: direct, indirect, and all. Find the mistake in the sentence. So these are available in grammar books. These are Gupta and both Arihant. And the other, also there are YouTube channels also. So if you search direct, indirect conversion for exam, you will directly get YouTube videos on it. And once you will know which channel is good, and you will keep on understanding. So that way it will eventually bring you a lot of clarity. So this aspect, I hope all of you are following English. I'm doing in English because some of the aspirants are from South India, and they may not have be able to understand. So I hope it is understandable to everyone. So like, this is the strategy for English right now. Now I will take questions from English. Any doubt that you have? So if there is any other doubt also later on, you can ping me on WhatsApp or in my Telegram group, and I will answer it. And I mean, please give due importance to English, because it is a difference maker. Time to spend on various questions. This is very important, yeah. So we go with the mentality that, okay, at least in civil services English, like you never have any issue in completing it. In IFS, because the marks are added, it is very, I found it very lengthy. In both the papers, I just completed English right at the end. So let me think here. I'll prepare like essay paper. Essay you should complete in essay 100 marker. You should complete in let's say 40, 45 minutes, 40 minutes at least, if possible low. Then grammar 20 minutes, 25 minutes is zyada nahi, because otherwise you will cannibalize on the other points. In Prezi, it took me more than half an hour. I think 35, 40 minutes. I don't think I have the time management divided right now. Letter and report 15, 20 minutes, 15 minutes each. That is like 15 minutes each, so 15, 20 minutes for letter and report. Prezi 40, 45 minutes, essay 40, 45 minutes, and then comprehension also like half an hour, 20-25 minutes. So this can be a strategy. But I'll divide 180 minutes and post it in my Telegram group to answer this question properly. I don't think I'm able to divide 180 minutes right now. But if I divide it, let's say essay 45 minutes and Pressy 45 minutes, that's 1.5 hours. Then like half an hour for letter and report. Okay, 20 minutes for letter and report. So that is 2 hours, 10 minutes. Then 20 minutes for comprehension, 20-25 minutes for comprehension. And then whatever the 20-25 minutes are left, that is for English grammar. So but prepare the timing beforehand, because you can easily extend one portion and then it can harm you in completing the paper. Can we make common sentence by putting idiom in it? Idiom, like I'll tell you now, you have to read it. First of all, cause benefit analysis may idiom is like, okay, go through some common idioms that are mentioned in these grammar books. And then I think most of them you can get it, like they are repeated first of all. So if you see the last 10 years question paper, you will get them. And even in R Gupta book or Arihant book, you will get idioms like there are 3-4 pages and they will cover pretty much everything. And write a simple sentence on it, simple intense sentence or a compound sentence on it. So like one mentioning the meaning in it. So that way you can manage it. You read the idioms that are mentioned in the grammar book and you will get an idea. And if there is a doubt, then you ping me, then I'll answer it again. Is there any correlation between scores in English in case and in IFS? I didn't understand this question. Correlation between scores in English and in IFS. Acha, CSC, okay. Because I didn't get my English score in those because I used to clear interview. But I think there we don't take it seriously. We just have to pass it. So I don't think I put any effort in that English paper. And like here we are putting proper paper, so you will have to score better. So there we are just passing the exam, that English paper, that qualifying mark. I think out of 300, either 90 marks or 75 marks is the qualifying. Second year, what should be my strategy in optional field? I'll come to forestry later. I'll answer it, Shardul. So good score in English actually depends on the exam. This actually the UPSC scoring pattern is very subjective. It changes year by year. So I'll tell you by my own case. In 2019 exam at 924 marks or something, 930 marks, I was not selected. I just missed selection due to my low interview score, but I was not selected. But at 923 marks in the next exam, much less marks than my previous exam, I got 9th rank. Because in that year, we were heavily downscored in all the papers. Whether that is English, GK or optional, there was heavy, very tough marking done. So it does not matter. Your marking is not a board exam. Your marks are relevant for it. Here, how you have done in comparison to the other candidates are more important. So usually, I mean, one thing I can say that, okay, 140, 150 is a good score in one exam. But I remember in 2018, 2019 exam, people got like 190 marks. So that way it varies how the UPSC is scoring it. I think last year the scoring is better. Sir, is it better to refer R Gupta book for IFS botany optional? Actually, R Gupta, my optional is not botany, so I'm not really sure about it. So R Gupta is like, it's not a good book as such, because there are a lot of mistakes on it, especially for forestry, in which data is compiled. But what the good thing that it does is that it gives you previous year's question papers compiled in one place, even though the quality of answers is not good. I mean, many of the questions in forestry were not at all to what they should have been. But still, that is the only book that we have as of now. So you should use it in a smart manner. It's not necessary that you will get everything good in one way. So for that, it can be used, but I'll cover it later. Questions repeated in English grammar? Yes, definitely. I mean, you can see it in the question paper also. Just solve 10 years question papers every day. You see in the grammar portion, they are similar types, because there's no real difference also. If you change the name of the person, then the question is the same only. Now, if I'm converting direct to indirect and just the name of the person is changed, so that is the same question only in one way. So idioms also, then noun adjective question, that is the last part of the question in the the last 10 marks of the grammar portion, that conversion to noun and adjective, that is the toughest part, and that is repeated every year. So that is manageable. Commerce graduates are eligible for IFS. I am not sure. I'll have to check the notification. To the best of my knowledge, they are not, but I'll have to check it. Okay. I'll get back to you on this, but to the best of my knowledge, they are not. So any other doubt? You all can, if you all want to have audio questions also and don't want to type, so you can raise your hand in this, and I'll ask you to unmute, and then you can answer, can ask the question. So like this is with English. If there is any other doubt in English, you let me know right now, or if you post it later also, that is good. So now, like I will start you to help you. So I'll mention this, why this English and GK is important, because what happens is that this, like, you know, the how competitive IFS exam, even civil services, it is like 10-20 marks question is the difference between selection and not selection, or selection and getting a good rank and getting a good cadre. So actually the benefit is a lot, and it also puts less pressure on your interview score. So I know I had many friends even this year also who they needed, let's say, 195 marks to get selected, and they got 185, like 10 marks down, and they could not secure a rank, and they are not selected right now. So I mean, even though 185 is also not that bad score, but still, like hota hai, it puts pressure on your interview score. So those 10-15 marks if you get from English and GK paper, that can help you a long way in getting selected. So in GK also, obviously it is not difficult. It is actually very difficult to gain an edge because of the pattern it is. But in English, it is very easy to gain an edge on it. So I'll now move to the GK portion. So GK portion, you must understand that there are 6 questions, each having 4 sub questions in it. So 2 of each question will have 2 questions of 15 mark and 2 questions of 10 mark. So the strategy what we have is that, first of all, there is no real book for it. And because I mean, earlier people used to read, my seniors, they used to read that Lucent book for GK, but it is not really needed. So the thing is that GK, it is GK and not GS. So the original pattern was that no current affairs related questions were asked. But then last 4-5 years, we are seeing 1 or 2 questions here and there that are borderline current affairs, especially when it comes to economics and polity. So first of all, your UPSC preparation will suffice, especially your prelims preparation or even your mains preparation. Like I used to read like Vision IS environment anyway, I used to read for IFS paper, but all the rest of that for the civil services preparation is suffice. So the 6 questions are from different topics. So one question is from history, the other is geography, economics, environment, polity, and science and tech. So I'll say that in terms of cost benefit analysis, there's no real point in preparing so much for GK paper or solving any test series, as someone had asked the question later earlier, because I mean, you are better off investing that time in English and your optional paper. But one thing can be prepared, like for like half a day preparation on history. I believe that there are 2 topics which we can prepare. One is science and tech, and the other is history. So history, I used to prepare. If you see like the past 4-5 year question, you can easily predict which dynasty they are going to ask. So there are some certain famous things that can be asked, like Maurya, Chola, Gupta, Vijayanagar, Mughal, Tipu Sultan, Bhakti movement, Sufi movement, and post-independence also. And these are certain important dynasties or certain important topics that we have prepared very well for prelims exam. That is why you are writing IFS mains. So just revise them for half a day or less than 1 day if you have time, and just you can predict which dynasties they are going to ask, and maybe you can gain a few marks here and there. In science and tech also, I mean, I used to prepare for my, just like have a very fast reading through my prelims notes. One thing I'll mention is that here you have to read certain portion of biology, because some biology questions are very tough. So here I think 12th standard anyway, 12th standard biology book, there are certain chapters regarding genetics. So if you have time, you can go through it. Many of us must have read it for our prelims paper also, but you can look into it. So this will help you in getting that edge if possible. So although it's very risky because cost benefit way may you might have prepared something and not even a single question will come. The one aspect is the time management here. So there are 15 questions here. There are 24 questions here. The 12 questions of let's say 15 marks. So solve them first time and spend let's say 115 minutes on it, like slightly less than 1 hour on it. And you should like devote your entire like for your 15 marker, you should have written everything, intro, body, conclusion, and pretty doing justice to all the questions that are there. Because the question paper is lengthy. In civil services, there are 20 questions. Here, there are 24. So that consumes a lot of time. On the other hand, the 10 markers that are there, you can easily solve them in like slightly more than an hour, 65 minutes, 63 minutes, something like that. And you can like skim through them. One study that I used to do is that, and when you are solving the paper, when you are starting the paper, you read every question. Because okay, you will come, because every year at least 2-3 questions will be there that will be like, okay, you cannot even answer that question. So there is no real point wasting 2 pages or 1 page on it and wasting that time on it. Instead, cannibalize or use that time on the other questions. So I remember in my exam, I could attempt only 22 questions because 2 questions were very tough. So immediately when solving reading only, I understood, okay, yaar, ye to I won't be, ye to nahi banne wala apan se. So then we will shift that to, I'll consume those 10-15 minutes in all the other answers and make sure that my quality of answer writing is better. So this is a strategy that should be adopted. I think 10 marker is 2 pages and I think two or 3 pages are provided. 10 marker is definitely 2 pages, but 15 marker is I think 3 pages. 15 marker is 3 pages, but I'm really not sure. But whatever the pages is there, you should like focus on 15 marker anyway. Okay, this Gaurav has mentioned the specimen is mentioned in the UPSC website. So you can check. I'm not able to recollect right now, but I think there were 3 pages in 15 marker. But even if two pages is also there, then make sure that you have written it completely. And okay, then both have 2 pages. Okay, so then even if it is 2 pages is there, then also you have to write like 15 marker should be like completely filled up. And obviously the 10 marker you won't be like, because writing 48 pages in that exam whenever there are different questions, it is very tough. You'll find it very lengthy, and you'll be lucky if there are 2 questions which you are not able to answer, you can utilize it. Otherwise time pattern is very tough here. Yes, you can. I regard that for GK paper, especially the prelims part. So I mean, prelims may we have read about all these things. So in geography you can revise. Even polity, I don't think there is much cost benefit analysis to revise it. Environment, we can revise it anyway, and environment we would be reading anyway for forestry. So I think that will suffice for it. Geography, definitely your current affairs, your prelims notes. Like I prepared very good prelims notes in my OneNote, so I used to read that. So questions can be generic also. I mean, you can see the previous question paper. They are not that difficult. It's not as if very tough questions are being asked. It's just that we won't be able to remember those topics, especially geography. We are more prelims oriented because in mains we are just writing on it. In prelims we have to focus on every minute topic also. So in that way, I think reading prelims notes is, you will read through previous year question paper and you will understand. So so this is the one topic that I mentioned here. Actually it is very difficult to gain an edge on from the other candidates because the scoring is pretty random and it's pretty tough also. So it was very low scoring sometimes, and mostly people will score more in English rather than in their GK paper. But let's say 5 marks can be managed here and there. So then that is nice, that can be managed. So any doubts that we have? One question I hope you have answered. There is no real point answering for doing any answer writing for GK paper. There's no need for it. There is, I mean, civil services preparation will suffice here. I'm not aware of any test series, but I don't think test series are needed for English and GK as well. So if there is any other doubt also, you can ping me later and I'll answer it. But spend more time on English, I would say. In GK, just manage it, and like your civil services means will be sufficient for it. And just be smart on the day of giving the exam, and you can manage. So now from moving from here, I think now we'll start the important part. I think we'll start with forestry optional, and so that I'll go. I hope you people have opened your syllabus. One thing I'll mention is that your syllabus should be always be ready with you. I mean, for me, it was always next to me, both for agriculture engineering or forestry, or even if you have geology optional also, because here, if you want to prepare this syllabus in like 20-25 days, which is sufficient for forestry, because I'll say that coming to the academy, when I came here, even let's say an FRI student who has done 5 years in forestry, who is very master in it, who is a PhD candidate, may not be scoring that much in, or maybe scoring the same marks in IFS mains also, because the question pattern is different. So here you need not be a researcher, you need not be a PhD candidate, you need to be an aspirant who is preparing for Indian Forest Service, and that requires smart preparation. And for that, every year you will have candidates who will prepare just for like 20-25 days, 30 days, and they will score very good marks, because you need smart preparation for it. And especially for this year, because you will know that there are 151 seats, so it's a high chance for getting selected. So that is why. And now there are many avenues also. When I started preparation, there were none, so we had to prepare everything on our own. Now there are very good coachings available. So I hope you have opened your syllabus, and I'll answer it topic wise. So, and after completing a section, no matter now you can ask any question that you want. Raise your hand and I will answer it, or either you write it down. I think one question has come: what are the marks considered as average for GK? I'll tell you again once it changes anyway, because every year the marking is different. So even in my selected year, I got only like 110 or 20 marks, but in my non-selected year, my marks were higher, like 140, I think. So marking changes here and there, but it's not a board exam. Once again, I would like to stress, because UPSC will vary their marking every year. So now now we'll start with forestry. First of all, you must understand that section A, these first topics, paper 1, section A, silviculture general and silviculture systems, they are the most important. Let me share my screen if possible. Can you see my screen? Okay, thank you. So I'll consider this topic. So this paper 1, section A, silviculture general and silviculture systems. This is the backbone of forestry, and let's say 60 to 70% of forestry is this topic only, these two topics. And for that we have to, like, there are total 16 topics in this paper, in both papers, 8 in section A, paper 1, and 8 in section 2, paper 2. So, but these two topics, you have to devote your extra preparation on it. So whenever I'll mention some of the sources that you can read. First of all, there are some Hornbill coaching material. Even I recommend an even planet geology material that is taken by Apurv. He's 11th ranker. So he's a very knowledgeable person. So whatever coaching you decide, I think the pattern has changed. Actually, forestry is now very competitive. And it was ever because everybody is taking forestry paper. And since everybody is taking forestry paper, there is a huge chance of creating a difference. Suddenly, if you are not up to the mark, suddenly your marks can be pushed down. And if you are certainly above the mark, then suddenly your score will improve. And because of this competitive nature, you should refer, although 20-25 days are sufficient for it, and but you should prepare well, knowing the competition that is there. So I'll mention these topics: silviculture general, the sources that I was mentioning. You can join Hornbill or plant geology, whatever is your preference. And Manikandan Prabhu, okay, actually Manikandan Prabhu is regarded as the Bible. although it's not a well-written book, there are many mistakes. But the point is that Manikandan and Prabhu has written these two topics very badly. I mean, you will not understand forestry really in Manikandan Prabhu. It's not good. LS Khanna is better. The PDF I've shared it in my Telegram group also, and it is available in ORN. But if you join Hornbill or NPTEL lecture, Hornbill is like they have covered these topics anyway, so you will understand them and focus. Like इसमें पूरी clarity होनी चाहिए. These two topics, make sure that you over invest on it, because that is the main part. And once you understand these two topics, you will be able to understand other aspects of forestry. So silviculture general हो गया. It is about silviculture generally. अब आपने, you can see all those topics that are there. That are covered in these coachings that I mentioned. These coaching materials you can get it easily, or even in Manikandan also, but LS Khanna is much better. So acha, one thing is that you should have something to write on every topic that is mentioned here. So if I mention polybags and maintenance, you should understand this. If it is planting nursery beds, okay, nursery, there's one chapter in nursery in which sir will mention it, and he will teach you. Side factors is a very important topic. It is repeated every year, here and there, in some way or the other. This natural and artificial regeneration, this topic is like the ever going debate on forestry, like how we should plant, whether it should be NR, which is natural regeneration, or it is AR, or artificial regeneration, or ANR, which is assisted natural regeneration, which is the combination of the two. So this is again a very important topic. Ecological and physiological factors influencing vegetation, and this is again a standard topic which is repeated here and there. So this silviculture general overall topic, actually I have shared it in my OneNote notes also. I've compiled everything that when I prepared, I did LS Khanna, I did Hornbill, I need Manikandan, and some part of evolution also. So I made my own notes and I combined it. You can refer them. Some of you have pinged me and I've shared it. And if you refer, since the time is less, you can go through Hornbill and they will complete it, all those parameters for you. So उसमें उनके notes में भी काफी अच्छे से cover हो जाता है, whatever the coaching that you refer. So because now and so this topic is, it can be covered from that. The other topic is, which is a very high scoring and difficult topic to answer, is silviculture systems. So basically how silviculture system is our management style, how we are managing that forest. Okay, how are we cutting it, or how thinning is done. So this is like very difference maker question, because one tough question will be there on it, and that can be your part of getting good marks. So I'll tell you something about forestry paper. In forestry, like there are 8 questions. Obviously 1 and 5 are compulsory. Out of the next 6, you have to attempt 3, and 2 from one section and 1 from the other section. Here you must attempt tough questions only. And even though like there will be generic questions, I mean tough question means you must attempt that those 2 questions will be from section A, because section A is high scoring, both paper 1 and paper 2. Section B is more generic. And every time in the exam, if you go through previous year question paper, you will see, okay, these questions are so easy. Some questions are so easy that even a civil services aspirant with no preparation in forestry will be able to answer it. So logically at the time, आप अपने दिमाग को justify कर लोगे, यार कोई नहीं यार, ये आसान question attempt कर लेते हैं, I should attempt this easy question. But that is a very bad strategy. You will not get marks. In my first attempt, even though my preparation was better, but I made this mistake at that exam. I was not really aware. I did not have proper guidance regarding it. And I made the mistake of attempting paper 2, section B questions. And that led to like even though I scored good marks, but that led to my downscaling of marks. So even though at that time you may be thinking, okay, this question is slightly tough, why should I attempt it? But please attempt section A questions only, and try to attempt tough questions among section A if possible. That is why I'm focusing that some topics should have extra focus on it, so that you are able to answer it in the exam, and that will help you to score those 10-20 marks that will eventually decide. I mean, that is the easily difference between 200 marks or 220 marks or 240 marks, or even higher than that. So that kind of difference, it can happen in if you attempt section A questions. So these 2 topics are like this topic. I have covered everything of LS Khanna. I've like silviculture system. I have completed everything in my OneNote notes of LS Khanna, Hornbill, and everything. But focus on this topic. These 2 topics should have good clarity on it, whichever coaching you are referring to. and you can manage it. So the other topic is any other doubt regarding these two important topics regarding the source? Okay, so then the third topic is silviculture. Have I asked? Yeah, you can ask Yuvraj.
Sir, sir, for those questions in which specifically a species is asked, sir, what should be our strategy? Means they are asking for a nursery bed or plantation, and in addition they are adding how do you do for the Soria robusta or something. So, sir, what we have to do for that?
So I'll tell you, the Shoria robusta is the easiest species. Shoria and Tectona, that is Sal and teak, that is the backbone of forestry that takes place in India. So you will get them. Let me ask. Okay, you are asking. Okay. I'll answer Ram your question. So first of all, this species question, these are the easiest questions to answer because you only have to write the species name. Like in one paper, they asked us what species you will plant in such and such location. So when you read forestry and especially these two topics, silviculture general and silviculture system, you automatically will have an idea of which species can grow in which area. For example, sal will need a lot of water. But okay, eucalyptus, some species of eucalyptus are actually very hardy, but some species of eucalyptus will require a lot of water. Neem can grow in arid areas. Acacia catechu, Acacia nilotica can grow in very arid and semi-arid areas. Prosopis jodiflora is a phreatophyte. It has deep roots. So eventually, I am mentioning these species. When you start preparing, you will have an understanding on it. So if you go to any of these coachings of even Manikandan and Prabhu, you will have an understanding. Okay, you revise it daily. I used to maintain an A4 sheet and in which I used to write these species name and certain characteristic about them, and that became my revision parameter. And just like in 1 week, I would have an understanding for most of the species. The other aspect is that in my OneNote I have shared like this. Can you see my OneNote right now?
No, sir.
Okay. Just hold on. Okay. So can you see it right now? Yeah. So देखो मैंने क्या किया था, मैंने अपने आप के लिए स्पीशीज रटने के लिए SP करके बना दिया था, जिसमें I would write certain species name and their characteristics. Same is the case with, let's say, let me see through my this topic. I had prepared like the species name, and every species or certain characteristic I would categorize it in these two letter species: species 2, species 1, and species 3. So this will cover most of the species that are there, or certain characteristics of one species, or here and there, or characteristics and the type. For example, let us say if I'm asking multi-purpose species, so there I am mentioning it timber, legume, or NTFP, or minor forest produce, and then I mentioned 3-4 species. So if you continuously start revising it, for example, FGS is fast growing species. So I mentioned 4-5 species. So if you start revising it here and there, they are mentioned in the hornbill notes also. So you will automatically develop an understanding for it. You won't take much time for it. And just prepare notes like this or refer my own notes, and just revise it here and there, and it will not take much time also. One aspect is that scientific name of species is very important. So because this is a very tough topic, and scientific name species, you must underline it. The first letter should be capital, the next letter should be small. For example, if Sal is Shoria robusta, then S should be capital, Robusta should be small, and both should be underlined. The thing is that if you do not do this, there will be a deduction of mark from what I've told, because in botany, those with botany and forestry optional would know that this is considered very seriously taxonomically. So considering the time, can we stick to only Manikandan and Prabhu? So Ram, you cannot, because the pattern has changed. In 2017-16 paper, Manikandan was sufficient to do it. But now the competition is a lot, and Manikandan and Prabhu is no longer the thing that can get you to select it, because the important chapters are very badly written there. And although earlier it was like, okay, just read it and get good marks. Now I think you need to supplement Manikandan and Prabhu with the like Hornbill or Planet Geology notes or some of the aspirant. That is why I used to refer my notes more, because I went through, I compiled it from here and there, and I completed it a lot. So Manikandan and Prabhu, certain chapters also easy chapters which are not really focused, like forest economics, that I will mention it later. Those you can refer it from Manikandan and Prabhu, but certainly for the important chapters, it will not be sufficient. Hornbill notes, I think Hornbill can be completed from it. Sir, your combined notes are enough, or is it necessary to refer these books and coaching? Yeah, actually, I have tried to, like, for many topics, I have compiled it completely. Like I used to read from my own notes only. But the thing is that I never thought, okay, I would be in a position to share my notes with everyone. It may be that my notes you will not be able to understand because they have been written for me specifically, although I've tried to mention it. But certain topics, definitely you can refer my notes if there is a time crunch. One thing I will recommend is that you join this coaching, because right, these crash courses, they are now very, like earlier they were not there. When I gave my exam, my first attempt, they were not there. And now the competition has changed, and now like this is one way, because let's say if you have to prepare for two options, so it is better to prepare forestry in a fast manner, complete it via some coaching class, and they are not that expensive also from what I know. But complete it in a fast manner and devote, for example, if your the other optional is agriculture engineering, then you can use that time to have a better preparation for agriculture engineering, for where there is no real coaching as such right now. So I think actually you need a smart preparation, because like I will recommend, I will, like, it is compulsory to, like, you print out the 10 years question paper. I used to highlight the like keywords in it. Okay, this is the topic. I used to compile it for paper 1 year and paper 2 year. So two separate booklets were there, and then I used to like read it every day. And basically, the width of the topic is more important than the depth, because if you see the questions, they are not really that tough. It's not as if like optional, if you have, let's say, PubAd or sociology or PSIR, okay, you're not able to even understand the question despite knowing the topic. Here, if you have read the topic, you will be able to understand it anyway. If there is types of thinning, which is a standard question, that is a, like, every question, every year it will be repeated, and you just have to answer it down at that time. So that is why I will recommend it to you, is that like, be smart. That's why once you refer to the previous year question paper, you will know, okay, for this question, my this note was not sufficient. Especially for the easy topics, maybe you will need to refer Manikandan and Prabhu. But for difficult topics, Manikandan and Prabhu will no longer suffice. You will have to refer to these coaching materials or LS Khanna. So you need to be smart in it. It's not as if, like earlier, when I talked to my seniors from 2016 2017 exam, they used to like take Manikandan Prabhu, read 500 pages and then get selected. Now it won't be there because of the level of competition that is there. The other question, combined note for diagrams. Okay, I'm glad that you asked. I forgot this topic. First of all, diagrams, graphs are extremely important. For example, Sal has got wing seeds. So just draw a wing seed diagram in Sal, and that will suffice. So if there is thinning topic, so mention some trees and then show that, okay, trees have been cut and more spacing has been done. So the more diagrams you draw in the exam, the better marking will be. Some aspirants use colored pen also for drawing, but I did not do that. Just I used to take two pens in it. I used to write with black and my diagrams were with blue. And diagrams, like, kya hota hai na, in the exam, actually in forestry, the paper is not lengthy. You will complete it easily. That is why you have to focus on writing, giving diagrams and graphs here and there, and you will not be able to create them in the exam. So the strategy I adopted is, when I was reading it, I used to think on all the topics. Okay, what diagram or graph can I add in this particular topic here and there? Okay, this is a good topic. I'll note it down in an A4 sheet. So I had a list of diagrams that I had prepared it beforehand, and I used to revise them and then just paste it in the exam. Even though this was not, I wouldn't say I was very good at it, because some of them have written it even better than me, but still, because drawing was never really my forte, and I never adopted it. But I forced myself to, at least, okay, I'll do some of it to get marks. But if you are able to be very good at it, certainly you will score better marks than all the other people that are there. So that way you can manage. But diagram and graph, whenever you are going to any topic, think about what diagram you can draw in this particular manner. I think focus on filling all pages in questions. I think I used to write diagram here and there. So spacing was not really on my any concern. In fact, time is also not really concern. If you want, you can write fill the entire space. Actually, my strategy was like I write very big. So my is like 100 pages in one page of UPSC. So that way I never had an issue, either lack of space or more space. That was never an issue for me. I used to complete it like almost the entire space. And but at least like it is there. So the 15 marker, at least 3.5, like if there is 15 marker and there are 4 pages on it, at least 3.5 pages, you should have started the last page, either draw some diagram on it, because mentally for an examiner it does not look nice if you have left a space. I mean, they are also humans. So although I never had this issue, but still at least the last page should have been started for it. So make space on it, make a diagram on it, or write certain, or increase your content so you can write for full space on it. But at least like 10-15 marker questions should be like, you should have proper focus on it. Is there any specific examiner? So diagram question, I hope I have answered, but is there any specification which examiner is looking for? I'm not really sure, but like diagram will certainly enhance your answer writing. For example, let us say there is one question on mean annual increment and current annual increment. If you write that diagram, show that diagram on it, show that graph on it, then like that is one way of getting marks. So any other doubt before we move to the next topic? Okay, so the like I'll share it. Just hold on. So then coming to the third topic is mangrove and cold desert, another section A topic, and one question is guaranteed from mangrove and section cold desert. And it is a very simple question. It does not require any major preparation. Most of the things you already know from civil services. Just know the species of mangrove species, know the adaptations that are there. The topics are mentioned. Know the cold desert species. I have mentioned it in my notes also. Uh, uh, like I'll tell you one thing, like my strategy for mangrove is that no matter what the mangrove question was there, my earlier starting would be I would define mangroves. Okay, mangroves refer to a certain collection of species that are show very high salt tolerance and this and that. They reside in intertidal areas. Certain species are there. India has, let's say, 4992 kilometers square of mangroves as per ISFR. And then I used to draw a diagram of India, mention the mangrove sites, mention that there are 38 mangrove sites in India, and certain 2-3 mangrove sites like Ratnagiri or Andamans or whatever the sites in Darbans. So no matter what the question was, my half a page was on this particular introduction. Similar was with cold desert. Mangroves are part of champion and safe classification, falam something. And even cold deserts are part of this champion and safe classification. So this introduction, no matter what the question it is, let's say even though it is asking on adaptation, my half a page would be on this, and then I'll go on what are the mangrove adaptations on it. So these questions are repeated. This intro, just remember it for both mangrove and cold desert. Know the various adaptations. Here Manikandan and Prabhu is sufficient, although Hornbill and like whatever the notes are there, they know how to answer it. Even you can refer my notes also. I have tried to compile all these formats, and you can definitely go through them, and it will help you, because like this is a very scoring question and it is guaranteed to come. Like one either mangrove plantation. So there is one Pichavaram in which MSSFRF क्या नाम है MS Swaminathan Research Foundation, they have done plantation of mangrove sites. So that is like fishbone architecture. So those are standard questions. The material is available online also, and these coachings will guide you. So yeah, oh, I'm sorry, I did not mention this point. So yeah, example, do you need to add examples in most of the points as we do in GS? Yes, definitely. No matter like in silviculture general, when you are preparing, you must add a species name. For example, if there's a question on root parasite, then I should be okay. Sandalwood is a root parasite. Then immediately I'll draw a diagram of sandalwood. Okay, sandalwood is there and its roots are doing this, something like that. If there are which tree has got buttress roots, so I should be mentioning, okay, Arjun tree, or it has got lateral root system, or these are buttresses. So I'll draw a diagram of the tree. So these kind of diagrams, examples, case studies, if possible, in the other questions, they are very necessary, which I have shared it. Like in my OneNote, if you see, I'll just share. So in OneNotes, actually what I've done is that, like, let's say silviculture system is there. So yeah, okay, just let me comment to it. So I have tried to cover whatever the case studies that I have or whatever species name are there along with the topic is there. So every topic I know I have written the name of the species that I will write for it. So that way you will automatically be able to learn for it. For example, in mining areas, I'll be planting this Acacia auriculiformis. So I've written it beforehand. So whenever it happens, I know this will happen. For example, this is pink disease in eucalyptus. So this is just the name of the species that I have written. But if you go through my notes, like every chapter I have written value topic, value addition or value addition, something related to it. Like this is for silviculture, this is value addition. So I have covered every case study or every certain special species name in this particular topic. So that will help you to get marks. If you can copy my style, or if you can learn from it and make it your own. For example, this is like protection, nerd species कहते हैं हम इसको. So जैसे साल is protected by castor. So this is like just one example. So whenever this example of nerd species will come, I'll write this example. So just start preparing it, and you will just within few days you will know about it. For example, coffee is a skyophyte. It needs shade. So we grow it as part of 2-story high forest system. So this is one example. So if in the exam 2-story high forest system is there, you will automatically write coffee. It is a skyophyte also. You will write it like this. So this sort of this is one copies with standards. So this is you will read it in silviculture systems. So I've written it as CWL. Then Sal is Sal is a standard, and Sal and Jamun are grown in this. Coppice selection system. So I've written Acacia, Catechu, and Sal. So if you start providing pollarding, if you will know, pollarding is like I believe it should be repeated. So you will know the species. There are 2 species of pollarding. It is mentioned in LS Kanna, Select species and Hardwickia binnata. So automatically in Andhra Pradesh it is grown regarding it. So these are certain that I mentioned it. You can go through my notes if you like it, because I've tried to make it very concise. Although the coaching materials also they have covered it. So you can manage it in that way. So that is like, okay. Yes, I have shared my OneNote in my Telegram group also, and the link is there in one of the pinned notes, and I will share it again also. So I've made it publicly available. So you need not worry about it. Okay, so like just coming to this topic. Any other question that we have till now? So this, like these 2 topics, silviculture general and silviculture system, they are very important. Mangroves is also another important topic. Now here is like the tricky topic of paper 1. The problem with silviculture of trees is there every year 1 or 2 questions will be there from it. So if you are lucky, then it will be an optional question. Usually what happens is that there is one compulsory question regarding it and one optional question. So people, I used to prepare this topic. There is the source material is Hornbill, you can refer it, and there is also one booklet of evolution that comes in. You can get it in ORN, and there you can have it. So the thing is that actually it's a difficult topic to prepare, because I know people who didn't really prepare this topic and yet they have scored marks because they skipped that question. But because you cannot, I have even the best student of forestry, it would be cost benefit analysis wise, especially if there are 20-25 days, it would be very tough to prepare all the topics. But what happens is that when you prepare for silviculture systems, you will get a decent understanding of their qualities here and there. So Hornbill takes a few sessions that are very good, and even evolution sessions, evolution notes, they are very good. So Hornbill sir will refer it he'll mention some topics, some certain trees that have to be read. My strategy was that I used to prepare 10, 12 species very well. And I was very lucky because I used to, once again, the strategy was that previous year question paper, I could really guess out, okay, this particular species will come in this particular year. So I remember in my year, poplar was in the news simply because of COVID, that its pollens were causing COVID in JNK, and the High Court, I think, had ordered for them to be cut down. So poplar was so much in the news that we knew that poplar will come, and I prepared poplar very well, and that was repeated. So I, like call benefit analysis, I would still say that go first of all complete the other topics well. Once you have, if you have time, so prepare tactically some of the species, because some species you will automatically get to know, like Acacia catechu, very famous species. Khair ho gaya. Acacia nilotica, very famous species. Acacia auricoliformis, it is used in mining areas. It is almost similar to Acacia species only. Okay, that can also be done. Of this only I read Albizia lebec, and I read left all these things. Azadi rasta indica, that is neem, that is very important. Bamboo, very important. That is like, you will anyway know about bamboo. If questions comes regarding neem and bamboo, you will be able to answer it. Palash, okay, type topic. Casuarina equisetifolia, very important. You will know most of the things because it is used for afforestation in coastal areas as windbreaks and all. So anyway, you will read about it in agroforestry. So you will know about these characteristics. Cedar deodara, very important. Deodar tree, it is used for afforestation in hilly areas, and it is a slow growing species. This I did not, Chukras I did not read. Delvedja sisu, very important. Once again, it will be repeated here and there. Emblica officinalis, okay type. Eucalyptus, very important because it has got a lot of negative connotation in it, and yet it is used in afforestation. But you will read about all these things anyway. You will know about this only. Then all these species, Pinus rocks will be very important. Populus, very important. Prospis juliflora, very important. Santanum album, root parasite that I mentioned it earlier, very important. Shorea robusta, I mean, it's like most important species for forestry in India. You will know everything about this topic. No matter what easy or tough question Sal comes, a good candidate will be able to answer regarding it. Tectona grandis, that is teak, very important, most important species even alongside Sal. So this species. So, and Imli, Tamarindus indica. So like these certain famous species that I mentioned, I'll share it with you later also. These species you will anyway read it from your silviculture's papers, silviculture topic, and in hornbills are also mentioned these topics, these trees, and you can use it tactically. So if you have time in the end, then you can refer to these sources and understand this topic. But there's no real point wasting your time right now. Like, do it slightly in the end once you have completed, once you have read the entire forestry, especially the important topics. Then if you come to this particular topic and try to guess your way, okay, what all questions can come, these 10, 12 species that I mentioned. If you want, I will repeat it later also. But these things, at least if actually kya hota hai ki the thing is that if you should have certain level of preparation so that if an easy question comes, so you should be able to answer it. तो टफ नहीं कर पाएगा तो कोई बात नहीं, कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता. लेकिन ऐसा नहीं हो कि आसान हो किया और हम रह गए. मान लो साल पे ही आ गया, so Sal pe to like everybody will be able to answer about Sal, but if you are not prepared, suddenly you will be found wanting. So just like the easy to question should not be left behind. Tough to chahe kuch bhi ho, usse koi fark nahi padta. So like this, but you do this topic silviculture is of trees at the end. Once you have went through, you have gone through all the topics of forestry. So current affairs sources to read to know about plant species in news. Yeah, civil services preparation is sufficient. I used to read Vision IS for current affairs, mains 365 wala, and many forestry topics would be covered from that. Although if you read from the question paper, forestry optional, they are not really asking that much on current affairs. ऐसा नहीं है कि there is one direct question on current affairs that is coming, but you never really know because the competition is changing every year. So they might ask in your year. So environment for vision would be sufficient for it. I don't think there is cost benefit wise, there is no real point over investing in one topic. But I always say this, that we must not over invest. One should have a very smart preparation because so that, I mean, you can manage this topic, all those topics that are coming there, and especially read the important topics very well, but don't invest in other topics that are not really important for the purpose of just that are not coming. Sir, can you? Answer writing format, civil services format is sufficient. So what I used to like, our standard format is intro, body, conclusion, bala. So the thing is that if you read through previous year question paper, you will know that either you know or you do not know. Like for the tough questions that are coming, that are the scoring questions. So either, let's say if I mention types of thinning, okay, or either mention silviculture system. Okay. So if there is a question on, let's say, uniform shelter wood system, so you will know the definition of what is uniform silviculture system, that is mentioned in LS Khanna book, and I have copied it in OneNote and even in Hornbill also. So you will know about this. Okay, well, you will draw one diagram of regarding what is uniform shelter wood system. Okay, what is how it is managed in this way. If there is a question on, let's say, coppice, so you will draw one coppice on it. Okay, tree was felled, then 2-3 adventitious birds were coming, and then you will show another diagram in which they were singling out done, and only 1 or 2 stems were retained, which eventually grew to form a coppice tree. So this kind of diagram, and then writing the pros and cons. So actually the question is that the answer is that in forestry there are not really tough questions, especially for the scoring ones. Either you will know or you do not know, it will be direct. So answer writing is not really that as difficult as you will think. But for the generic questions that you will need to answer, for that the civil services answer writing is sufficient for it. The answer writing, one thing that I really mentioned is that diagrams, graphs, uh, colored pencil, depending on if you want or not. Case studies, if you can answer, which I have mentioned in my OneNote. So these are the special things that can be done. And species name that I mentioned. So species name, write as many diagrams and graphs as possible. Write as many species name as possible in the right format, which I mentioned was capital and small and underline format. So this is the other part of, like, if I write Sal, I won't get marks. You have to write Shaurya Robusta in an underline format. So, and for reading species name, it is very simple to do. Just write down 10-15 species name in your A4 sheet, revise it like 3-4 times a day. In just like 3-4 days, you will be able to memorize everything. Just do it actively. I used to read it in the morning, and it is like very simple to do. And let's say in 10 days time, 10-15 days time, easily you will know about all the species that are there, and you won't even have to memorize it. So revise it just like 2-3 times a day, and especially in the morning. Write it in an A4 sheet, and you can manage it. Okay. Now then, okay, we'll move to like silviculture trees. I hope I've answered it. Now I will come to section B. If there is any other doubt on section A, you can raise your hand now or later anyway. So now, like section B, I told you that this is a low scoring, like it will tempt you. They will ask very easy questions from this section B, and they will force you to go on it, and you will think you'll be induced to answer these topics, but that's not really wise. But still, there are certain topics of section B that those questions are slightly tougher than normal, and I would prefer that to answer. For example, agroforestry, social forestry, this topic. So tribology, they have stopped asking this question for whatever reason. So now I think there were really no questions. Just read some basics of it, but don't go unprepared on it. Hornbill sir has certain notes on it, and even Manikandan and Prabhu has mentioned certain topics on it. And tribology, I have tried to cover it in my notes also, but it's not an important topic. Agroforestry, definitions of agroforestry, diagram of, like I used to draw a diagram on agroforestry regarding it is a land use management system to meet the social, economic, ecological needs of the farmer to do this ऐसे करके flow chart बना करके मैंने एक diagram बना दिया था. So this was repeated here and again. Agroforestry में species name आते हैं, which I mentioned it in my agroforestry chapter. In my agroforestry OneNote notes, species name आएंगे कि multi-purpose species बताओ, कौन सी species you will use for green manuring या फिर green उसके लिए green bank system के लिए, और उसके लिए क्या कहते हैं wind breaks के लिए कौन सी species use करेंगे, shelter break के लिए कौन सी use करेंगे. These are some certain species that will come. What species which you will plant in certain areas. So इसके easy questions are there. Just read on it. Read on every topic that is mentioned in this particular syllabus, and also go through them through Manikandan. or hornbill. Hornbill is, I think, sufficient, but that is what is necessary. JFM is actually a very repeated question that will happen, and uske liye I have covered it in my notes, or hornbill is sufficient for it. So, okay, because that is repeated, that is a generic question. In civil services also you can answer it. When forestry, obviously you will have to slightly enrich your answer. I believe that in a generic questions that come in section B, in which a civil services aspirant will answer, if you are a forestry optional candidate, if you can enrich your answer with certain species name or certain case studies or certain diagrams or certain value addition material, which I mentioned in my OneNote notes, then that will help you to score marks on it. Because otherwise, it will appear generic, and it is very, very difficult anyway to outscore other candidates here and there. But if you can showcase with your answer writing that, okay, you are not a generic candidate, you are a forestry optional candidate, then you can manage these topics. Tribology, like I said, it's not that important topic as of now. Just go through reading it in a fast manner, so that at least if a question comes, you can manage. Forest, soil conservation, watershed management, these are generic questions. Just have a go through reading in Manikandan and Prabhu. Forest soils, this is one. What is the difference between forest soils and regular soils? This particular topic I have covered it, and in Hornbill sir and Manikandan they have covered it. So have a good reading on it. It is like a very quick reading. You will understand it. It's not really tough. It's not that different from civil services. This soil conservation, like windbreak, shelter break, sand dune management system, reclamation of soils, like reclamation of saline soils and alkaline soils or acidic soils. We know it in civil services also. We have read it in prelims. So just go through a reading in Manikandan and Prabhu, because they will ask you what is a saline soil or what is the electrical conductivity. So in GS, you are not expected to write the electrical conductivity or decisiemens per meter. But here you have to mention the salinity soil. So, okay, this much electrical conductivity should be there. This parameter are there in Manikandan and Prabhu. So this is the difference. Suddenly, okay, the moment the examiner sees electrical conductivity of saline soil, then he will understand that, okay, you have written decisiemens per meter. Okay, this is a good candidate. He is special for me. He is not a GS candidate on you. So you can differentiate yourself from it. This VAM is a very vesicular arbuscular mycorrhiza is a very important topic. There are types of mycorrhiza. There is basically it is a fungus that helps the root grow. Non-pathogenic fungus that has a symbiotic relationship with the new roots. And there are three types: ectomycorrhiza, endomycorrhiza, and ecto and endomycorrhiza. So this is standard question, but it is repeated here and there. Watershed management, these are generic questions. Here answer writing will be more important, so that at least like GS only, you will be able to answer it anyway. Environment conservation and biodiversity, another generic questions. Like environment, like nothing really. Here at least like try to write diagram or at least species name whenever possible. So if it is like human activities like mining, so if you write suddenly, okay, Acacia auriculae, it is used for rehabilitation of mining areas, okay, I'll understand. Okay, yeah, this is a good candidate. Or if you are mentioned, okay, Saccharum munja grass or these kind of grasses that are grown in mined out areas, then suddenly, okay, your marks will increase. Pollution, yeah, go through Manikandan and Prabhu. These are standard questions. I've covered it in my notes also. This EIA, like anyway, all are like air, water pollution, noise pollution. Like these are easy questions that is like GS based only. This is my favorite topic from section B, because tree improvement, tree improvement is a tough topic of section B, and I would always try to attempt from it, because I mean Manikandan Prabhu and my notes, and even Hornbill sir writes has very good classes on it. I would recommend you to like try Hornbill if possible, or whatever coaching, or planet geology also. But like what will happen is that will help you. This topic tree improvement, I mean, because you can write quality answer and you can outscore other candidates in this particular topic. So clonal seed orchard and all these seedling seed orchard, all these types of tree improvement species that are there, candidate tree plus tree. So this mating designs. So these are like standard questions, and these questions are repeated. Every question is simple, but you just need to read the topic. And I would always try to attempt this particular. If there is a question on section B regarding tree improvement, So you can try it anyway. So if my strategy was section A, I will attempt okay tough questions, and section B, if possible, you can attempt 3 improvement questions. Then definitely go for it because it will help you to score marks. So any question regarding now that I've covered paper 1? Any question regarding paper 1 before we move on to paper 2? Even if question is there, you let me load it up. Like I will okay. So like I'll just show my OneNote note because some of you had pinged me earlier. So I have prepared one like notebook for it. So silviculture is there, silviculture system is there, silviculture of trees. I have written it here and there. General topic is for all the topics that I mentioned. Okay, one thing I forgot to mention it, but I'll just cover it right now. And this mangrove and cold desert, this topic there. Then I used to refer it from this only. Then agroforestry topic is also I've covered it, most of the aspects that are there. Then environment and biology, obviously, I mean I used to cover it there. Forest and soils, I have covered it here. Ecology, ethnobotany, okay, this is later. But tree improvement, this particular topic is, you should prepare it very well. It is the most important topic of paper 1 section B. So now coming on to just hold on. Okay, now paper 2, once again section A is important. You must cover 2 questions of section A at least. And here although all the four topics are like scoring, these 2 topics are very tough: forest management and forest mensuration. These are also tough and high scoring. So you must focus on this, because it is, if a good question comes on this topic, you are very well prepared, then suddenly it will lead to an increase of 5 to 10 marks. So these 2 topics, if some of you had asked me that what should be the order of preparation, I would have said that you should prepare silviculture general, then silviculture systems, then you should go for forest mensuration and forest management. So these 4 topics you should have very good command on it. So forest management, actually, Hornbill sir will cover. I mean, this coaching class, they have mentioned it anyway. You can refer my notes also. But like this is a very important topic, and in fact, many of the advanced things here. In fact, what you will be writing, let's say regulation of yield or sustainable yield or progressive yield. So you will be mentioning examples of silviculture of trees also. So like this tree species for this sort of management is there. Okay, this in coppice system we can manage it like that, or in shelter wood system we can manage it like that. So you will be writing examples of the previous topics here in this particular topic, and the more number of examples or case studies or diagrams you will answer, or scientific names of trees you will write, the better marks you will score. So this topic you can cover. I mean, you must focus on it. Then the other topic is mensuration also. Mensuration also, standard questions are there, and they are repeated. You can go through previous 10 years question paper. You will have a thorough understanding of what are the questions that are coming. It will also create a good difference with the other candidates, and it's a very important way of scoring. The third topic is the other topic is, what is working plan? Working plan, 1 question is guaranteed to come. What is a working plan? There is a standard. It is a written scheme of management based on 2014 working plan policy, working plan code, or like this. It has these many maps. What are the scale of the maps? Like in 1 year, the question was asked, what are the types of maps prepared in a working plan or prepared by this officer? So, and you have to mention the scale of the map also. Okay, 1:50,000. Yeah. So these standard topics are there in my notes, as well as Hornbill sir. What are the references that I mentioned? You can definitely go through it. But it is important. It is a simple question that will come every year. 1 question will be there, but it is a scoring one. The 4th topic is survey and engineering. Those who are from civil engineering background will definitely have an advantage, but now they are actually, this is an applied aspect. So how will you design a nursery? How should you design a forest building? So it's like, no, you should. So if there is a forest building, I will plant an evergreen species in the southern aspect so that there is a bit of a shade, or during winter or something like that. Okay, in summer it will offer shade. In east it will be like that. So इस तरह से ये species करके, or it should be deciduous so that it does not provide shade in the winter, and in winter the building is a bit warm. So these certain survey and forest engineering questions like types of bridges, types of roads, they are like standard questions that will be repeated. Manikandan has covered most of them, and you can definitely go through it. And especially surveying all these types of compass, how to do a plane table survey, how to do a plane table survey is like a hona hi hai ki what is a surveyor's compass, how does this work, what is a plane table survey, and these questions that are there, they will be there anyway. What is a chain survey? So they will be repeated here and there, and these are standard questions. And just it does not require that much of preparation anyway. It's very quick to prepare. Like in 1 year, I think types of brick aaya tha ki how do you prepare types of brick? What are the qualities of class A brick or grade A brick that are there? So these are very easy questions for civil engineering, but we have to read it once. But this is a high scoring topic, survey and engineering. We tend to forget. This is an obscure topic. When we have this forest management and forest mensuration, we forget that this is also an easy topic that just requires certain preparation. So please prepare it well. So having now covered it, I will now move on to just hold on. Forest section B. Once again, like easy topics that are the easy and generic questions that will be scaled down. And forest ecology and ethnobotany, like ethnobotany, herbaria, arboreta. These are like standard questions. Like Manikandan has covered most of them, and even ethnobotany, ethnobotanical survey was done by Kerala. So like this is one case study that I used to write in all my papers. Or like this tree has got this much benefit. Like one standard question is every year I used to prepare like 10 medicinal species, and what part and what is the benefit for them. I think it came last year. So this is like this was a standard question that we had to prepare anyway. What species in pollution question? One question was there. What species will you do for air pollution or water pollution? How will you solve it? What species will you prefer for urban areas? What are the qualities of species that you will prefer for urban areas? So these are the standard question that will come anyway, and these coachings will cover it for you. So this is a very generic question. The more scientific name you will write, the more you will be somehow able to outscore other candidates or at least save yourself. This forest resource and utilization, at one point it was a very important topic. Manikandan has covered most of them, but actually now they are not really asking those questions, but at least read some basics if you have certain um, like how is Kutch, like earlier it would be like how is Kutch and Katha made, or all these kind of questions. How is paper made, paper and pulp manufacturing? What are the species that you will prefer? Like a question आ सकता है कि what are the qualities of a paper yielding tree? तो ये है कि lignin or suberin, it should be less, it should not have enough lignin and suberin, or even what वो हम टेढ़े मेढ़े ट्रीज को भी पेपर बना सकते हैं उनका बुरादा बना कर, कि जरूरी नहीं है कि वो स्ट्रेट हो या whatever. So this topic, this is matlab, generic questions are there, but at least read through on topic. I remember in my 2019 exam, particle board ko question aaya tha, and I think particle board tha, but I was not really prepared on it. So I got confused and somehow I could not score that much. मैं गलत लिख के आ गया था. तो जस्ट एक बार गो थ्रू कर देना, इन सब कोचिंग क्लास के मटेरियल में मिल जाता है. हॉर्नबिल सर ने काफी कवर किया हुआ, तो दे विल उसमें है. तो जितना है उतना काफी है, उतना याद करने से मतलब डोंट ओवर इन्वेस्ट and you will manage it. Then the other topic is forest protection and biology. इसमें यार this is like another like easy topic. These are like rotation and control grazing. वही जो मणिकंदन या जो सर्च कराते हैं हॉर्नबिल सर, that is sufficient. Or you can go through my notes. Fire is a very important topic for both interview and both for forestry. तो कोई ना कोई टाइप्स ऑफ फायर, क्राउन फायर, 4-5 तरह की फायर होती है. मणिकंदन में दिया हुआ है, मेरे नोट्स में भी है. तो इस तरह से हाउ विल यू मैनेज फायर, ये वाले क्वेश्चंस आर एवरग्रीन, तो ये करने हैं. Forest economics and legislation, I have covered economics, forest covered it, I have covered it in my notes, and Manikandan में भी है और Hornbill में भी है. So the thing is कि यार ये एक क्वेश्चन आता है और it's not that difficult, and मतलब be wise on how to attempt it. Try to make your answer special, at least not get your lose out to other candidates. Forest legislation is actually very good topic, because 1 or 2 questions will be there, either or comparison, or either mention one of the policies, or comparison between policies, or what was, if there is a 2018 draft policy that is mentioned, so read about it. Read about Wildlife Protection Act, the acts that are mentioned, Wildlife Protection Act, especially the recent amendment about it, Indian Forest Act. Many interview ke liye I read the Bear Act for it, but you don't have time for it right now. So you can manage this topic, but still, मैं तो अपने notes में I have covered it in most of the places, but definitely you can, मतलब मेरे notes में it is very holistic. I have covered this topic, but these coaching classes, the Hornbill, they have covered it very well. So you can, if there is one mistake in the syllabus, it is that there is no forest policy of 1990. It's forest policy of 1988. Actually, this 1990 policy is actually JFM, Joint Forest Management guidelines issue हुई थी. So it is the only mistake in the entire syllabus of our forestry paper, and it is sometimes asked in the UPSC board, and even definitely in mocks it was asked to me. So these joint forest management, अब क्या है joint forest management क्या है कि यार इसके पूछेंगे क्या है, what is joint forest management? So suddenly you should have that definition ready, certain case studies ready, certain कुछ flow chart बना सकते हो बना दो. So these prepare it beforehand. So suddenly you will have an answer. जैसे इसका है what is Indian Forest Act या Forest Conservation Act या Wildlife Protection Act. तो उसका जो preamble है ना, उसी को याद कर लो. Okay, this like Forest Conservation Act. So it was mentioned that no forest can be diverted for non-forestry purpose without the explicit permission of the union government, and it requires, for diversion, it requires permission as required and payment of NPV as well as compensatory afforestation. So एक standard वो रट लो या ready रख लो, तो एकदम इसके question directly you can manage it anyway. Apart from this, one thing I forgot to mention is that ISFR report, you have to read it and you have to make notes on it, because for your, I think 2021 report is the latest one. So yeah, there are concise, although there are क्या कहते हैं vision में होंगी इसकी, but more importantly I think you should read it. And in fact, when you will read it, you will understand that most of the topics you won't need to refer it. Like you should know what is forest cover, what is tree cover, what are the data about it, किस तरह से मैनेज किया है, हाउ इज फॉरेस्ट फायर डिटेक्टेड, तो कौन से सैटेलाइट यूज किया है, लिस्ट 3 डेटा है, कौन सा सेंसर यूज किया गया है. तो दीज टॉपिक्स एनीवे यू शुड मैनेज एंड तुम्हें आना चाहिए. और ISFR रिपोर्ट में कहूंगा खुद पढ़ लो. इफ यू रीड इट योरसेल्फ, मेक नोट्स और शेयर इट विद योर फ्रेंड्स इफ you 2-3 people are preparing together, and suddenly your answer will feel enriched anyway. For example, अगर bamboo का क्वेश्चन आया तो suddenly if I write a data that okay, in India as per ISFR report, बैम्बू काउंट इंडिया में इतने एरिया में है, या फिर इसका डिस्ट्रक्शन ऐसा हुआ है, या फिर मेजर स्पीशीज ऐसे हैं. इफ आई आस्क व्हाट इज इन्वेसिव स्पीशीज, सडनली इफ आई मेंशन ओके ISFR report has mentioned these things, these are the invasive species in India or this particular area. So these, suddenly your answer will be enriched. So it is a must read. Make quick notes about it, and most of the topics you will like, you don't need to go into state wise content. You just need to read the general topics for ISFR. It can be managed within a day. So, but it is a must read. You must make notes on it. I had underlined it for the 2019 report, which was there in my exam. But you should read it, and you cannot write an old data. For example, if you end up writing 2019 data, suddenly you'll have loss of marks, because you have to write the latest data only. That is why this report is coming, especially since you are a forestry option candidate. It is expected from you. So जैसे like I'll just share. So like even जैसे बाकी सारे topics तो easy हैं, जैसे mensuration हो गया, I've covered most of them. Forest management हो गया, I've covered hornbill and my own topic. Like this is some of the graph that I was asking. Whenever I liked a graph, I used to copy it here. Economic elicitation, they say survey and engineering is also important. ISFR, I had made it like this only, chapter 1, like just like this much is the most important chapter. SDG अगर हो गया, SDG का एक अलग chapter था उस साल. Forest cover भी अगर मान लो second chapter है, तो it just needs like this much topic only. Data, I used to write a data on it. Mangrove, like just 1 page data and you can manage it. So this is like, okay, I forgot to mention one more thing. This champion and safe classification, although you can copy it from my note here, it is like you must know the 16 classifications that are there of trees, and name wise also. that in 4 type groups and 4 whatever, in 5 type groups and 6 type groups, and major types are 5 major types. So you should know about all the species of that, because this is a standard question that will come, and that can be repeated also. And also the moment, like I was mentioning it in earlier, so if there's a question on cold desert, so I can easily mention, okay, it belongs to champion stage 14, 15, 16. So suddenly it will encourage your answers. For example, if it is in regarding mangrove forest, so I know it is in 4A or 4B. So suddenly it will boost your entire answer. If there is a question on biodiversity, so the biodiversity in any way, they are themselves have mentioned about the definition of biodiversity and Shannon-Weiner index or method of biodiversity इस तरह से करके. So yes, champion and safe classification and ISFR report, it has to be done. This carbon stock chapter also, although in your 2020 report the topics are different, but certainly you need to go into the ISFR report and the champion and safe classification. So now any other doubt that you want to ask regarding forestry? I have tried to cover most of the topics that I could think of. So if there is no other doubt right now, and although I've tried to cover most of the topics, but like if you have any other doubt, you post it in my Telegram group, because I understand that once you start reading the topics, actually you will develop more doubts. So you post it in my Telegram group or WhatsApp to me, and I'll try to answer it within the proper time. And I will start, because like when I start agriculture engineering now, I think those who do not have agriculture engineering background can leave at that time. But I will recommend it to you right now, is that these 2 months you should have a very positive feeling about it. This is a golden year to be selected. 151 seats. The exam will be easy in one way, difficult in the other way, because most of the aspirants also know about, okay, this is a golden year for getting selected. But be confident, prepare very well, be very efficient with your time. Know what to, you cannot judge your optional of IFS with the same rigor as you judge the optional of civil services. I know many people who have civil engineering or even mechanical engineering, they do not score well in agriculture engineering despite having common topic, because they think, okay, the question will be the same as civil engineering only. Here the width, both in forestry and the other optional, the width of the topic is more important than depth, because there is hardly any question that will lead to a very big difference maker, and you will think, okay, this is too tough. Questions are very direct only, you just need to know them. If you know them, you will be able to write them and use the other strategies like scientific name or examples or case studies and all these things to enrich your answer, so that your answer sheet is better than the others. But don't worry about the fact, just be confident this time is sufficient to score marks. Every year I am pretty sure that some of you will be selected. In fact, I hope all of you are selected in this 2 months, with this 2 months preparation only, because it does not require, the question format is not for a PhD level candidate. It is just for those who can manage in 2-3 months and who are very smart preparation. And you need to be very resourceful when preparing, simply because you need to be very well. Okay, I have mentioned 3-4 sources, so you should be able to understand, okay, this is an important topic, I can cover it from this topic also, or this source also. Okay, and now I can make a common note on this particular topic, like I compiled it in my OneNote notes from various sources. So be a smart worker. If you're not able to understand one topic, there are many YouTube channels also. I forgot to mention in NPTL, although time is not there, but Ankur Avadia sir, an IFS officer of Madhya Pradesh cadre, he had also done some lectures on forestry. But even though that is not necessary right now, but still be very resourceful when it comes to your preparation source. You should be able to search it online and get the topic and copy it and then paste it on your OneNote, so that you can revise it later. And make sure that you have 2 to 3 revisions on forestry. Instead of reading it one time thoroughly, or it is better to read it 2 or 3 times in a short manner. And especially because your first revision will take a lot of time, but still do it quickly. The second revision will be very fast, and the third revision will be so fast now. Like my OneNote notes, I could complete it all of them in just 2 days, 2 to 3 days, complete notes in a very fast manner. That was my third revision that I did. So this sort of strategy, just revise it very well, be very thorough with your previous year question paper, and like 10 years question paper is a must. Every single question you should be able to answer it very well and prepare on it, and that will help you know what depth of the topic you have to go for it, and what is the width of the topic that you have to go for it. So please share the link of your channel. Okay, I'll share my number, and okay, I'll in my Telegram I have shared it. Someone has shared my Telegram link in earlier. Please, someone can share my Telegram link. Actually, I don't have it right now. My Telegram channel link can be shared it earlier. If there is, this is my Telegram link, and if there is paucity of time, go for Hornbill. Hornbill class notes are very good. Hornbill, even you can ask him to courier it, and he can manage it. And the courier notes are evolution notes are also good. I give my due regards to evolution also, because sir helped me a lot. Actually it's a bit expensive. You can manage it anyway. If you have evolution notes, you can read it from it. But considering the paucity of time, Hornbill notes are like very, very good. So you can manage it. Hornbill, even if you ask him to courier it, sir, to courier it also, courier notes and class notes, class YouTube videos. I used to read them like I used to even revise it like that. I used to put it on 2x and basically revise it here and there. And I had covered it, most of them. In fact, if you see my one note, let me see. So, 1 minute. Like most of the topics that I mentioned H in my OneNote, they are from Hornbill. So like I covered most of the topics that I found, okay, I have to read, this is my weak topic. So I covered it from there. So that will be sufficient considering the paucity of time. And you can use that, the time that you will save in forestry, you can use it for other optional where a coaching might not be there. For example, agriculture engineering. In geology, definitely there is coaching. So, but like 20-25 days, Hornbill you can manage. Manikandan, certain topics that I mentioned, you can use for it. You will anyway be able to understand. So if a previous year question paper is unable to be solved with Manikandan, then you first complete Hornbill notes. I think that will be important, and then go for other sources. Okay. Any other doubt? Evolution notes are good. Like I had referred for evolution, but I don't think time is there right now. But silviculture of trees evolution booklet is very good. That they have covered most of the topics. Second year, okay. Shardul, I'll come to you. I think right now I can focus on those who are giving means this year. But still, the strategy that I mentioned it right now is the same strategy that you should do for forestry optional, Shardul. And so this in second year you have plenty of time right now. If you want to give IFS, you should focus on prelims, especially the foundation course. Join maybe next year when you are in third year or final year, you can join a foundation course of any coaching, and then you can manage. Is 8 hours a day enough? Yeah, 8 to 10 hours. 10 hours definitely. 9 to 10 hours I used to read, and at least like these 2 months you will have to really exert yourself. Sorry, you should forget everything right now, and like 8 to 10 hours of preparation, of smart preparation, is sufficient. Some days if you can manage 10 hours, then it can be good. यार देखो क्या है ना कि when I did solve questions from this, so R Gupta is not really that good. उसके answers are not that good. कुछ के अच्छे हैं, कुछ के like they are not really up to the mark. So be selective in your reading. So Hornbill sir will discuss the previous year question paper to the best of my knowledge. उन्होंने बहुत सारे क्वेश्चन मेरे में तो डिस्कस किए थे, तो इम्पोर्टेंट क्वेश्चन डिस्कस हो जाएंगे उससे. इवन अपूर विल डू इट, अपूर प्लैनेट जियोलॉजी, अपूर 11th ranker. So ये वाली all these coaching classes, they will discuss previous year question paper, because they know that this is the single most important way of scoring marks. And R Gupta, the quality is not good. I just had it because it is one way. Okay, I can if there is one question somehow, I can manage it. But I did not really refer it for the answers. But if you want to refer it, you can manage. But the quality, you should know the quality is not good. Hornbill, you can search online. I think YouTube channel is there, or either I'll share the link in my Telegram. I'll share the sir's contact. But Gupta doesn't give all solved questions. Yes, बिकॉज गुप्ता क्वालिटी जो देता भी है वो भी बहुत ही घटिया आंसर होते हैं. मैंने एक बार पढ़ के थोड़ा टाइम बर्बाद किया था अपना. एंड गुप्ता सर इज मतलब है, इट्स ओके फॉर इंग्लिश, it's okay for compilation, but the quality of answers is not that will help you get selected, to be frank. So it is better to answer it like मैंने 2-3 साल की थी, 11, 12, 13 I think, and then किया, then I understood that this is really not that good, and I stopped referring it R Gupta for it later. And this is fun, it's new for me. Should you take leave for 2 months on the job? Yeah, you should take leave, because I say Ashwini na, I know many people who regretted not giving IFS exam seriously, or and then because IFS is very tough to even get a chance to write prelims, write mains, because prelims cutoff is so tough. And especially because there are 151 seats this year, I would suggest you take medical leave or whatever you can manage, because 2 months preparation will be needed, Ashwini. If 7 to 8, if your other optional is what is your other optional? If your other optional is common with CSE, then obviously you have less time. But if it is not common with CSE, then definitely, it is worth taking this year, because our batch. So no, then please take leave, manage, do whatever medical thing you can, because in our academy there was heavy criticism of this 151 seats, that like there is no real space to manage 151 seats. So you never know, the next year the seats might reduce, or maybe 1 or 2 years it might be stay the same, but definitely the seats will reduce in the coming exams, maybe 2-3 years later. So but this is why this time you should give everything for your selector. So you will manage it. First time, yeah, it's okay. First time, anything, you just need one attempt to be eligible for selection. The other is your luck. So even when in my first attempt also, I scored very good in forestry and agriculture engineering, but for agriculture engineering, I was the topper this year, and the last year I was second highest. But obviously I did not score well in English paper and that interview, so I just made selection by 7-8 marks, but still at that time. So the thing is that first time it does not matter, but just prepare, give 2 months your all, everything, take leave from the exam, and you can manage it. So if there is any other doubt, then you can come. Otherwise we can let me see if anyone has shared. So if there is any other doubt, then is there, I'll be moving on to agriculture engineering. So those, since time is very crucial for you all, so if you want, you can leave, those who do not have, those who are from geology optional, or and let me know if you have any other doubt later on. Also post it in my Telegram group, ping it to me on WhatsApp. Like geology also is very competitive. Like my option is not geology, but most of my friends are from geology here. So the pattern has changed. Now at least coachings are available. So earlier when we were giving, the coachings were not really, well, they were there, but they were most people were not giving. So right now is like planet geology is like the single point of contact for geology right now, from what I'm aware. And everybody, like even like this batch, most of them are from that coaching. So actually the thing about coaching is that, especially when time is concise, so you will know what is important. Like why I struggled, like for agriculture engineering, why guidance is so important, because there is no real coaching. You would not know what is important aspect or not. And in my first attempt, even though I got second highest marks all India, but I had to put a lot of effort in my agriculture engineering just to know what is important and what is important for the point of view from exams, and what is not really that relevant. And that really put a lot of pressure on me. So which is why guidance, I will try to make sure that in agriculture engineering, you people do not suffer the pain that I had to go through, even though I got good marks. But for that geology, if possible, if monetary issue is not there, then if monetary issue is there, then obviously then that's a different point. But if it is not there, you should consider joining these whatever planet geology or whatever the coaching classes are there, because they have a very concise format, and at least they will get you in a certain pedestal. From that you will be able to understand, like forestry I'm mentioning. So if you join these coaching, then you will know forestry very well. From there you can understand, okay, now what should I do? Should the next year, should I read LS Khanna or not, or should I read Manikandan or not? Then immediately you will, if you read silviculture system or silviculture general first hand, then you will think, okay, either you will think it is rubbish, or you will think that is this topic only in Manikandan. But once you have read the topic from LS Khanna, you will know, okay, Manikandan has not really written these topics very well. So that way, especially when the time constraint is there, it can be managed for you. So I think you would recommend, if possible, you join coaching because the time is less and 151 seats. There is no real point taking a risk. Get selected this year. I would really suggest it to you. Work very hard. Forget the 2 months. Just work very hard and just like give it your all, and you will be selected. And because this 151 seats, you have to manage it. Okay. Any other doubt? And I think then I'll move on to agriculture engineering. So thank you so much. And if any other doubt comes later also, you let me know. So coming on to agriculture engineering, I would recommend you to please take out your syllabus. So I'll suggest we'll take 1 5-minute break and we'll start at 1:10 p.m. Okay, this is 1:04 in my watch in my clock right now, and we'll start at 1:10. Some of you have pinged me, so we'll take a 5-minute break because it's a 2-hour session. After that, we'll start for agriculture engineering. Okay. I think we can start now. It's 1:10. So welcome back, all of you. So now, Jesse, we will start with the. Yes. So now we'll start with agriculture engineering. So I hope you people have shared your syllabus ready with you, because it's very important. And I will discuss it. Like I said, I'll discuss topic wise, just as I was discussing it for forestry. So one thing I'll tell you is that it's an engineering paper, and I know all of you are engineers anyway, I think. So the thing is that if you are from let's say mechanical engineering or civil engineering background, then you certainly have an advantage here, because some of the topics that we'll discuss are directly from your syllabus and you will be able to relate it easily. But if you are not from these two background, like I was from an electronics background, so I found it very tough, especially the tough topics. But still, even if you are from that background, some of my friends in my own batch, I could outscore them. I outscored people who had done 5 years agriculture engineering in their college. Okay, two of my batchmates. I know I have outscored people who have civil and mechanical also, simply because I was very smart in my preparation. I didn't have really real guidance, and I made some mistakes on the way. But I ensured through my mistakes, I ensured that I could actually do the right things. So I want you to do the do's like I did, and do not do the don'ts that I did. Some of the mistakes also that I made the mistakes, so that you have better guidance than what I had initially. So first of all, it should not be treated with the same rigor as you would treat other optional or even other engineering subjects. So if you have civil engineering or mechanical, the kind of rigor that is required for an means exam of civil services, agriculture engineering, the questions are direct. Every topic, I once again, like forestry, the width of the topic is more important than the depth, because whatever the question, even the numericals that are coming are absolutely formula based. The trick would be there, would be the units. So I'll tell that first of all, numericals are very important. In fact, whenever the question paper will be given to you, like in forestry also, the paper is not at all lengthy. In fact, I used to spend like 5 minutes before they have given us the paper. I used to prepare 5 minutes plus like 10-15 minutes, so total 20 minutes on deciding which question I will attempt. because because I mean, if you don't do this like that, it's all the better. But at least spend 10 minutes time on deciding which question, because you will not know all the questions every year. I remember when I had the second IS marks, I could not do like 40-50 mark. I had left absolute blank. But because my other questions were better, I could score good marks, and this time I got the highest marks. So the point is that last year 21 batch, I got the highest marks. So the point is that you should very be focused on, okay, this is the question that I can attempt. Okay, this question I do not know. Sometimes you'll have to do a compromise also. Like both the 1 in 5 questions are compulsory, but out of the next 6, you will have to attempt 3. And those questions will be sometimes you'll have to make a compromise. Okay, this part also you don't know, the other questions part also you don't know, but then you have to compare. Okay, this is the question that can be attempted. So be smart in this. So unlike forestry, there is no difference between section A and section B. All are high scoring, or are the same. So there is no real difference. Attempt a question that you think you can answer, whether that is easy or tough here, that really does not make much difference. But in numericals, one thing I will suggest you to take care of the units. So all the numericals that are coming, most of the books that are there in solved questions, that they are direct questions for numericals. So but the fact is that the units will be changed. For example, in engine question, there's a famous formula called plan. Okay, but the point is that those units, whatever the pressure is in atmosphere or Pascal or Newton per meter square, and that changes the game. So just whenever you read any topic, focus on this particular numerical aspect. I'll go through the questions also that needs to be done, but we'll first start with the. I hope you all open your syllabus right now, and I'll just open mine also. So like we considered the topic now, so we are moving with section A. So there are total 8 topics right now, 4 each in paper 1 and paper 2. So section A of paper 1, now we'll be starting with it. So here, first of all, the first topic is soil and water conservation. So this is direct from civil engineering. Those who are from civil engineering won't even have to read it anyway. So, but the point here is that this is a very tough topic. I found it very tough because it was not from my background. The source that I referred to it was NPTEL lecture. So if you write soil and water conservation and space NPTEL, for agriculture engineering, you have to be very, very resourceful, simply because there is no real coaching as such, although some coaching, some gate level coachings have come up recently, but I'm not really aware about it. Maybe they are good, but there is no real coaching. You have to do it on your own. So you should know there are many YouTube channels on it. There are some NPTEL lectures on it. There is one official Government of India website, that ISRE. So go to any topic and just write space ISRE. Like let's say I write drop inward spillway space ISRE, IASRI, and you will get that exact Government of India mentioned. That Government of India, what they have done is that they have compiled all the major books and created one single source for agriculture subjects, and that is from where the questions are framed also. So most of the books like Jagdishwar Sahai, like for farm power, they have copied it directly, ISRE website. And that is the way the question papers are formed. So for example, few years ago, there was a question on types of well. So types of well, there are many classifications of types of well, and it's very complicated. Every book had a different classification. But what I did was I wrote exactly what is mentioned in the government website. So IS3 website, types of well space IS3, you will get that page. In fact, they have posted. In fact, technically, you don't need a single book for agriculture engineering, because every single material is available online. But still, will take certain books that are recommended, because all these chapters, that IS3 website also goes down also. So that is like also a big issue. So you should be very, very smart in it. For example, let us say if I am searching farm pond. Farm pond is a very famous point of. So this is anyway. So this topic will open. So see, this entire farm pond of soil and water conservation engineering structures, this topic has come, and I can read it in the topic. Although I referred it from R. Suresh book, but this topic, watch most of the time, like these are very tough topics. This will not come from UPSC. That is why you need previous year question papers, because farm pond, such a tough topic, is there in R. Suresh book also, is there in this also. But what you have to read it in farm pond structure, you will understand from previous year question paper. So last year, I think for 2 years, I think farm pond was like, how will you draw a trapezoidal farm pond, and what should be the depth, and this standard question was there. That was exact solved paper from R. Suresh, and that is what is needed. You do not need to go to anything deep regarding it. So this is just one way that I mentioned that how I used to read. So, and this website also goes down. So I suggest that whenever you go to a topic, you just copy the important aspects, paste it in your OneNote notes, and then you will be able to manage it. Because this website is not really reliable, especially when it comes to exam, that it will go down at that particular point of time. So this is what I was mentioning about being resourceful when it comes to this. So farm pond is a famous question. Wind erosion process, all those things, leveling, estimation of earth volume, costing, these are direct questions in which NPTEL lectures they have given on it. So let us say if I'm opening on you, I'll open later, let's say soil and so this is the entire course on soil and water conservation engineering. Also, even though there are like 60 lectures here, 30 minutes, something like that, many of them also not that relevant. But when you will start reading it, you will understand. I used to read it at like 1.5 or 1.75 speed. So you will know, understand, okay, what all the things are not necessary. That is why I suggest from 2007, download all the download and take printout of all the previous year question paper, highlight them. Like I used to compare it for paper one this side and read it continuously even before starting the syllabus, so that I would understand, okay, what all topics, and compare it. Basically when I have the syllabus at hand, I would basically compare it with, okay, this topic is from this particular topic, so I would have an understanding, okay, these are the questions that are being asked. So when I'm reading it, I know, okay, this is not even asked. this is not necessary, because if you take R Suresh book is good, but the thing is that it is badly written in one way, but there's too much information is there. So that is why we have to be very smart in it. Why it is good? Because okay, it has the topics there, but you have to search it. You have to be a smart preparation regarding it. So in this way, it can be managed. Okay, there's one book called Vivian Murthy and Madan Jha. I'm forgetting the name. I'll post all the uh, books that are needed in my Telegram group. So Vivian Murthy, it's a pretty concise book, and that is more relevant for even. Matlab, they have concise all the topics that are there. So that book can be referred uh, in a long way, but still you should always rely on previous year question papers. Okay, that will help you to get good marks. Services video, will it be useful or beneficial? Honestly, our gate for all coaching has started. Yeah, maybe they are good. I am not really sure. You can join and see. There's no like okay, क्या होगा, पैसे बर्बाद होंगे थोड़े से, लेकिन what if they are beneficial for it? There is always a first time. So earlier they were not there, because now considering the fact that so many aspirants are giving, maybe they are good, but you should always be focused that GATE and IFS exam are two different, not superior inferior thing, but two different exam. That is why GATE candidate will not be able to score in IFS, because the questions are very precise here and they are not that tough. So you should always you should not over prepare any topic. You should always play to the exam. It's not about being a master engineer in whatever GATE engineering is there, but you should be preparing to based on previous year question paper, because the time is less, and that is what is needed also. That is why I could score more marks than my friends who had agriculture engineering background, because I was very focused on it. So you should always base your entire preparation on previous year question paper, and then refer to the sources. Okay, this is the question that has come. So then you will understand the other topics also. For example, if there is a question on 4-cylinder engine, on SI engine, let's say, then obviously if there is a question on SI engine, then I will understand, okay, what is the corollary topic for it. So it might be I'll prepare CI engine also. If there is a question on draw the phase diagram of a 4-stroke engine, then obviously the question can come on a 2-stroke engine also. So these are just these kind of strategy on how to prepare from previous year question paper will actually help you to score more marks than so-called knowledgeable candidates who are wasting their like who are not really focused. So be a smart person and know how to prepare, what sources you have to prepare. If I'm saying refer on NPTEL, so let us say if I am solving and let's say my bench terraces topic is weak, so I will definitely go and read that lecture and go on problems of bench terraces. Some questions are there, or broad-based terraces are there. If grass waterway, I remember my grass waterway, I did not solve the question from the book. So I immediately went to this topic. I noted down the formulas. So that one book I will recommend is that Vivian Murthy and Madan Jha. Definitely you should buy it. They have done it in a very concise manner. R Suresh, it is a very thick book. I would say you buy it, but like if monetary issue is there, then you can skip it and then rely on ISD website. But that Madan Jha book, Vivian Murthy book, definitely you should buy it. So that should be there, and you should read the previous year question paper before every time, but definitely before reading that particular topic. So I had absolute mastery on 2007 to whatever paper that were there online, and I always knew, okay, this topic is there, and I used to read it. I'd highlighted the keyword of that topic. If there is, let's say, a question on grass waterway, then I would highlight grass waterway for the next time when I'm coming to that question. Okay, I'll understand. Okay, this is the topic that is mentioned. So that you should always be side by side. Your syllabus, previous year question paper should be ready with you, so that you know what you have to read from NPTEL or ISC or from this book, and not over prepare on any topic that is necessary. And even answer writing is not really that tough here, because it's just a direct question that is there. You will be able to understand it anyway. Some questions obviously you will not be able to answer, but that is fine. So this is the way you will prepare on this. NPTEL lectures are good. If GATE coachings are good, which people have mentioned, then you can join it anyway. If it is not good, then okay, you won't do that particular topic. But what if they are good and they can complete it in a concise manner for you, then I would suggest you join them. But they were not there in my time. Maybe they are very good right now. So then that can be helpful. But if you are not doing coaching, then NPTEL lectures are good. So You can join, but I will, okay, if you want to join, but you can join gate coaching. Then the other topic that I mentioned is, once again, if you have any other doubt, you can raise your hand. I'll mention the order of preparation that you have to do. Let's say if you are from mechanical engineering background, then you should prepare soil and water conservation engineering first, and irrigation and drainage first, and then farm power. If you're from civil engineering background, the other way around. So the order of preparation should be, right now for a generic candidate, soil and water conservation engineering, irrigation and drainage, then farm power machinery. These are the three tough topics that are there. Then the fourth topic should be there, should be agriculture process engineering. Fifth topic should be this agro energy, and then the other topics. So now we'll come to the, I hope I have made the order clear. Now I'll come to the other topic that is there, aerial photography and remote sensing. So based on previous year question paper, I could read the topics. The GIS topic is common to both forestry and agriculture engineering. So both in forestry books, Manikandan, and even in these R. Suresh and Michael Oja book, that is mentioned. That is sufficient for it. The certain books I will say what are the books that I referred. Vivian Murthy and Madan Jha, Michael Oja, Volume 1 and Volume 2, R. Suresh book, and Jagdishwar Sahai ki Farm Power and Engineering. This is a must read. Green color ki book aati hai. And the fifth book is Agriculture Process Engineering by KM Sahai and KK Singh. उसी तरह से एक और बुक आती है BH खान की नॉन कन्वेंशनल एनर्जी की. तो उससे अपन एग्रो एनर्जी के लिए रेफर कर सकते हैं अगर टाइम मिले, वरना तो अगर मान लो गेट कोचिंग करनी है तब तो शायद इसकी जरूरत नहीं पड़ेगी. अगर टाइम मिले तो BH खान से थोड़ा रेफर कर लेते हैं. अगर BH खान से नहीं करोगे तो फिर ISRI की वेबसाइट पे भी सारे टॉपिक्स के मिल जाते हैं. तो like these are the books that I mentioned. This agriculture process engineering की KM Sai and KK Singh, this is a very important book. I will come to it later. So this aerial photography and remote sensing क्या है कि this is like just go through previous year question paper. If the question is there, it will be repeated. Rest all it is. Yes, I will post the list. In fact, I'll share the photographs. I had it in my phone, but I'll post it in my Telegram group. Don't worry. So aerial photography and remote sensing, these are easy topic. जो आते हैं question इतने they are very easy. I just went through previous year question paper. Did not have much time to go into deep aspects for it. Remote sensing is a common topic for forest also. So forestry and even this. So based on previous year question paper, you can go through it. इतना tough question नहीं आएगा कभी. Third topic है irrigation and drainage. इसका भी मैंने NPTEL से किया था. I did NPTEL lecture on it and Michael Oja in book पे. Vivian Murthy में भी थोड़ा mentioned है. And Michael Oja wali book may be mentioned hai. Although ISRI website is also there, but here I would recommend all of them for it. You can recommend see YouTube channels for it. So because YouTube में बहुत सारे channels हैं, they have mentioned a lot of aspects for it. And उसमें क्या होता है कि सारी चीजें cover हो जाती हैं. For example, impeller होता है. मतलब let's say hand pump कैसे काम करता है, या फिर piston pump कैसे काम करता है, या फिर centrifugal pump क्या होता है. All these things. So these are like, I found it very tough to read. So what I did was I went through YouTube videos, and there are so many. Once you start seeing some YouTube videos, it will automatically recommend it to you. And suddenly you will find that, okay, you'll be flooded. And then with YouTube videos in 2x speed, you will get all these topics like farm pumps and all. So these are based on previous year question paper, you can read any topic. So यही smart preparation करना है. जैसे types of well मैंने बताया, ये question आने ही आना है. टाइप ट्यूब वेल, ओपन वेल, ये ISRI वेबसाइट से मैंने पढ़ा था. पंप टाइप्स, ये क्वेश्चन रिपीट होता है बहुत साल. उसी तरह से वेल वाले इक्वेशन भी आते हैं, हुगआउट इक्वेशन एंड ऑल, ये ISRI से मैंने पढ़ा था. और इरिगेशन एंड ड्रेनेज की मैंने इससे पढ़ा था. तो जैसे अब मैं इरिगेशन एंड ड्रेनेज सर्च करूंगा, इरिगेशन, तो देखो NPTEL का अपने आप खुल गया. ठीक है. उसी के साथ साथ इसमें उन्होंने they have covered many of the topics, and automatically you will understand okay what all topic is relevant for you. कुछ चीजें इसमें access दी हुई हैं. So that is why we will be able to always be reading from previous year question paper. So we will know, okay, this topic is relevant or this topic is not relevant. But this is also a scoring and tough topic. इसके भी numerical आते हैं, वो आसान आते हैं. बस units का ख्याल रखो, direct formula apply करो. You don't need to do anything else. बाकी एक एक topic पर you should know. Like if I mentioned, so certain words should be there. If I mention fertigation, So write fertigation space IS3, you will exactly know about it. जैसे इरिगेशन एफिशिएंसी एक स्टैंडर्ड क्वेश्चन होता है, तो इरिगेशन एफिशिएंसी इन्होंने ही कवर किया होगा कहीं पर, और नहीं है तो इन्हीं में कहीं नोट्स में है, वरना इरिगेशन एफिशिएंसी स्पेस IS3 करोगे तो अपने आप उसका पेज खुल जाएगा. तो दैट इज वाई बी स्मार्ट अबाउट दीज टॉपिक्स, be a smart, be resourceful on it. Then that's how you can prepare. ये हुआ agriculture structures. तो I'll also share my OneNote को. So like this is my agriculture engineering. Just hold on. So देखो मैंने कौन से topics I have completed it. I thought I have I've done a major thing for it. So this is soil and water conservation engineering. ये मैंने काफी उनमें NPTEL के notes plus my own notes from YouTube and here and there and IST, इससे कंपायर करके मैंने सारे टॉपिक्स में कवर कर रखा है. इफ यू आर एबल टू सी इट, देन ग्रास वाटरवे हो गया, टेरेसेस हो गया, गली कंट्रोल स्ट्रक्चर्स हो गया, ड्रॉप इनलेट हो गया, डैम्स हो गया, डायग्राम्स. जैसे एक डायग्राम आता ही है, आई डोंट नो व्हाई इट्स नॉट ओपनिंग राइट नाउ, बट उस तरह से अब सैंड ड्यून भी एक क्वेश्चन आना ही आना होता है. आई थिंक वो डाउनलोड हो जाएगा ये इसमें दिनों में, लगता है पहली बार बोल रहा हूँ. सो आई यूज्ड टू पेस्ट डायग्राम्स ऑन इट आल्सो. ऐसे हाइड्रोग्राफ इज वन क्वेश्चन दैट विल बी रिपीटेड. अब जैसे मुझे NPTEL का मुझे लगा इंपॉर्टेंट, आई डिड स्क्रीनशॉट ऑफ इट एंड पेस्टेड इट हियर. हाइड्रोग्राफ एक बार जरूर पढ़ लेना, क्योंकि इट्स सिविल इंजीनियरिंग के लिए बहुत, इफ योर फ्रेंड इज फ्रॉम सिविल इंजीनियरिंग, सो then he will be able to teach it to you. लेकिन it is one question जो उसका numerical is very easy. Just go through solved questions of hydrograph on YouTube and you will have an understanding for it. So this is one question hydrograph that will be repeated here and there. So I believe that it will be repeated in this year because आ नहीं रहा है बहुत सालों से, and it's a very easy question. So hydrograph is maybe my gut feeling. I in my first attempt मैंने पढ़ के भी नहीं गया था, और शायद एक क्वेश्चन आया था जो ऑप्शनल में था and I left it. बट सेकेंड अटेम्प्ट में पढ़ के आया था तो उस समय आया ही नहीं था क्वेश्चन. सो दिस एस्पेक्ट ये है कि इसके डायग्राम हाइड्रोग्राफ क्वेश्चन है, ये रिपीट होगा, इसके न्यूमेरिकल्स आएंगे, आ सकते हैं, तो दैट वे में इट विल बी इजी फॉर यू. उस तरह से मैंने ये टॉपिक मैंने कवर कर रखा था पूरा. सॉइल एंड वाटर मैंने काफी आई कवर्ड इट इन प्रीटी डिटेल मैनर. अच्छा, वन मोर सोर्सेज, काजल मैम्स नोट्स हैं, दे आर अवेलेबल इन ORN. शी हैज लाइक आई रिमेंबर 200-300 पेजेस का होगा, एंड शी हैज मैम हैज डन वेरी वेल. एंड उस नोट्स में आप जो दिया है वो भी एक अच्छा सोर्स है. So if you have less time and you want to know the basics of what all has to be read, although complete, so there are no notes are holistic. My notes are not holistic. लेकिन काजल मैम्स notes से you will understand what all things are relevant for the purpose of examination. So even if you go through my OneNote notes, you will know, okay, क्योंकि जो है that is relevant from the purpose of examination. उसी तरह से then the other topic that I came was irrigation and drainage. ये भी मैंने सारे कवर कर रखे टॉपिक्स. अगर फर्टिगेशन करके एक टॉपिक था, मुझे लगा था ये कमजोर है, तो मैंने उसके नोट्स बना लिए थे OneNote से. फिर देन उसी तरह से अब इरिगेशन हो गया, क्रॉप इरिगेशन हो गया, उसी तरह से लाइक लेट्स से आई एम गोइंग थ्रू सॉइल एंड वाटर पोटेंशियल. ये वाला टॉपिक एक बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट होता है. ड्रेनेज इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. सो नॉट ऑल टॉपिक्स आई हैव कवर्ड इट. ये टॉपिक मैंने काफी डिटेल में करने की कोशिश की थी. तो ये इसमें जैसे मान लो पंप एक टॉपिक हो गया, तो पंप में भी अब मैकेनिकल पंप हो गया, टाइप्स ऑफ पंप हो गया, ये आएगा. ये स्टैंडर्ड क्वेश्चंस होते हैं. रेसिप्रोकेटिंग पंप हो गया, पॉजिटिव डिस्प्लेसमेंट पंप के टाइप्स क्या है, रोटरी पंप के टाइप्स क्या है, वेरिएबल डिस्प्लेसमेंट पंप के टाइप्स क्या है. तो मैंने 2-3 इसका प्रिंसिपल क्या है, प्रिंसिपल ये है कि कन्वर्जन ऑफ वेलोसिटी हेड टू प्रेशर हेड. देन आई हैव रेफर्ड टू वॉल्यूट सेंट्रीफ्यूगल पंप, डिफ्यूजर पंप. तो इस तरह से आएगा. मान लो सेंट्रीफ्यूगल पंप, उसकी प्राइमिंग ऑफ वाटर, ये स्टैंडर्ड क्वेश्चन है, आप देखोगे रिपीट होगा. तो जब मैंने ये पढ़ा प्राइमिंग ऑफ वाटर का, तो देन आई इमीडिएटली वेंट थ्रू, मैंने थोड़े नोट्स बनाए. अब मैं यही पढ़ के जाता था उससे. टाइप्स ऑफ इम्पेलर, ये भी एक स्टैंडर्ड क्वेश्चन है जो सेंट्रीफ्यूगल पंप में होता है कि ओपन इम्पेलर, सेमी ओपन, क्लोज्ड इम्पेलर, केसिंग क्या होती है, सक्शन पाइप क्या होते हैं. इस तरह से मतलब दीज आर ऑल स्टैंडर्ड टॉपिक. कैविटेशन आना ही आना है, मतलब रिपीट होने वाला टॉपिक होता है. तो इसके मैंने यूट्यूब वीडियोस देखे, पहले मुझे समझ में नहीं आया, फिर मैंने उसके यूट्यूब वीडियोस देखे, फिर देन आई कुड अंडरस्टैंड, ओके ऐसा सा हो रहा है, फिर मैंने उसको कॉपी किया. तो उस तरह से अगर आप कैविटेशन स्पेस यूट्यूब में आप सर्च करोगे तो आपको मिल जाएगा. NPSH भी होता है, हाउ टू अवॉइड कैविटेशन वाला, ये भी एक स्टैंडर्ड क्वेश्चन है, आना ही आना है. तो ये इस तरह से ये वाले ऑल दीज क्वेश्चंस को मैंने मतलब यूट्यूब से मैंने पढ़ा है, कुछ उन्होंने NPTEL से पढ़ा है. These are the basis पर I could manage this topic. So like or any other topic है, एग्रीकल्चर स्ट्रक्चर. ये क्या होता है, ये बहुत थका हुआ टॉपिक होता है, तो मैंने उसको पढ़ा था। मान लो कैटल शेड के टॉपिक्स हैं, तो मैंने कैटल शेड स्पेस IS3 किया, तो अपने आप आई गॉट दैट वेबसाइट। टाइप्स ऑफ ग्रीन हाउस, ये बहुत बार बीच में रिपीट होता था, तो मैंने अपने आप ग्रीन हाउस के पढ़ा, या फिर ग्रीन हाउस कूलिंग स्ट्रक्चर, तो मैंने IS3 वाला पेज लिया, उसको कॉपी करके पूरा पेस्ट कर दिया, और मतलब उससे मुझसे आई गॉट द अंडरस्टैंडिंग, ओके दिस आर द टाइप्स ऑफ ग्रीन हाउसेज दैट आर देयर, आई होप यू कैन सी इट। तो उसके मैंने नोट्स पढ़े थे, ग्रीन हाउस में कूलिंग कैसे होगी, आई कुड मैनेज। फार्म स्टेड, अनदर कॉमन क्वेश्चन जो होता था, अब समझ में नहीं आ रहा था यार फार्म स्टेड पढ़े कैसे, तो माइकल ओजा की किताब में दिया है, मैंने IS3 से पढ़ा, तो उसमें आ गया, तो आई कुड अंडरस्टैंड, ओके दिस इज द वे आई हैव टू प्रिपेयर। साइलोज इज रिपीटेड टॉपिक, अनदर टाइप्स ऑफ साइलोज वो होंगे, वो रिपीट होंगे। एनिमल शेल्टर हो गया, तो इसमें यही है कि हाउ टू, ये कैटल तो है, पोल्ट्री भी एक नया टॉपिक है, वो भी आजकल आ रहा है काफी, मैंने प्रिपेयर करके गया था, लेकिन आया नहीं क्वेश्चन आई थिंक उस बार। सो दिस इज वन वे जो थोड़ा होगा स्टैंडर्ड, बेस्ड ऑन प्रीवियस ईयर क्वेश्चन पेपर, यू हैव टू रेफर टू इट, एंड देन हाँ, अच्छा, नाउ इज बेटर। सो दिस इज solutions for new, I don't think you will get online. First of all तुम कर लेना solve, दूसरा नहीं है तो जो questions हैं they are very very easy. In fact if you will, मैंने तो क्या किया था first attempt में, I only read through solved paper, solved questions from answer. That is why one aspect why you should buy these books. R सुरेश हो गया या फिर even विविन मूर्ति हो गया, R सुरेश में बहुत सारे solved question दिए हैं, even माइकल ओझा में भी दिए होंगे, तो just go through them and you will understand based on previous year question paper. First of all understand what numericals are coming, और उसी का कॉरोलरी वाला न्यूमेरिकल डायरेक्टली होता है। फॉर एग्जांपल फार्म पावर का जो क्वेश्चन है, वो एग्जैक्टली आर सुरेश की बुक में एग्जैक्ट पिछले 2-3 साल से जो रिपीट हो रहा है, तो वो दैट एंटायर फॉर्म पॉइंट क्वेश्चन इज एग्जैक्टली बीइंग रिपीटेड, जस्ट द वैल्यूज आर बीइंग चेंज्ड, and for that you just have to read the solved question from this R Suresh book, and you will get an understanding from it. If these gate coachings are doing it, then fine also, then it's even better. So but just read the solved questions, numericals, have an understanding of it, what are the values are giving, what are the units are there, and you will get an understanding for it, because you won't really get the time to solve it. Achha, I hope you all have scientific calculator, because which is allowed. Some Casio का मैंने स्टैंडर्ड वाला जो भी लिया था, तो वो जरूर लेके जाना, एंड यू शुड हैव आई थिंक सही होंगे, आई डोंट रिमेम्बर फाइंडिंग एनी मिस्टेक एज सच। मैं तो बस देखता था कौन सा फॉर्मूला लग रहा है, कौन सी यूनिट लग रही है, कौन कौन सी वैल्यू फिट कर रहे हैं, दैट इज करेक्ट देन दैट इज गुड। और जो क्वेश्चन प्रीवियस ईयर क्वेश्चन पेपर में आ रहे हैं सिविल सर्विसेज में, बस वो एक स्टेप, 2 ही स्टेप के क्वेश्चन आते हैं, एक बार फॉर्मूला लगाओ, जो वैल्यू निकले उसको किसी और फॉर्मूले में फिट करो मैक्सिमम, या तो डायरेक्ट फॉर्मूला क्वेश्चंस, you feed it in the formula, feed it in the correct units, and you will get the answer. Otherwise feed it in one formula, get one particular value, feed it in the next formula. So that had a lot of clarity, so I don't think that was an issue for me here and there. But YouTube mein there are solved numericals also, so that is if I get a good channel on it, I have some channel, then I'll share it with you all. तो उस तरह से यू कैन मैनेज। एग्रीकल्चर स्ट्रक्चर में भी हो गया, जैसे मान लो जैसे हॉग हाउसिंग है, ये क्वेश्चन आ ही नहीं रहा, तो मैं तो नहीं पढ़ के गया था, मैं पोल्ट्री पढ़ के गया था, मैं डेयरी बैम पढ़ के गया था, मैं कैटल शेड पढ़ के गया था, फार्म हाउस पढ़ के गया था। मशीनरी एंड इम्प्लीमेंट को मैं थोड़ा बहुत पढ़ के गया था, लेकिन आई शुड हैव मे बी डन बेटर। डिजाइन एंड कंस्ट्रक्शन ऑफ फेंसेज एंड फार्म रोड्स, ये माइकल ओजा बुक में मेंशन्ड है, ISC में थोड़ा थोड़ा मेंशन्ड है, और काजल मैम के नोट्स में फेंसेज दे हैव कवर्ड इट, शी हैज कवर्ड इट वेरी वेल मैम। उसी तरह से डिजाइन ऑफ ग्रीन हाउसेज, पॉली हाउसेज एंड शेड हाउसेज, दीज आर ISC स्टैंडर्ड क्वेश्चंस, इवन मैम के नोट्स में भी है, काजल मैम के नोट्स में, दैट इज व्हाट यू नीड। देन बाकी तो ठीक है, सिंपल है यार। आई थिंक सो, बट इन फॉरेस्ट्री दे आर नॉट आस्किंग यू न्यूमेरिकल्स, वो जमाने गए जब 1-2 क्वेश्चन आते थे न्यूमेरिकल के, सो आई डिडंट ब्रिंग कैलकुलेटर इन फॉरेस्ट्री पेपर। They have ended the tradition of asking numericals in forestry. ले जाओ एग्जामिनर के पास रख देना, लेकिन they are not asking, मतलब मैं तो कभी नहीं ले गया, तो then that is good. So this is paper 1. If there is any doubt, you can ping it right now or you raise hand. Otherwise also I'll move on, and if any doubt comes later, you can let me know later also. Then we come to paper 2. Then that is farm power. अब इसमें ये याद रखना, इसमें it is very tough एग्रीकल्चर इंजीनियरिंग। चलो मैं टॉपिक वाइज अभी बता रहा हूँ, एंड में एक बार कंसाइज करेंगे। यू पिंग मी, आई मेंशन इट फॉर एवरी टॉपिक, ठीक है। फार्म पावर के लिए पहली बात तो फार्म पावर का वही एनपीटीएल लेक्चर है, एक सोर्स ये रहा। दूसरा सोर्स रहा जगदीश्वर सहाय, ये वाली जो किताब है ग्रीन कलर की, दैट इज लाइक मतलब मस्ट बी नीडेड। वो मतलब उसमें सारे टॉपिक कवर्ड हैं, और वो बेस्ड ऑन प्रीवियस ईयर क्वेश्चन पेपर तुम देखोगे। इनफैक्ट ऑलमोस्ट 3/4 ऑफ द बुक यू हैव टू रीड। तो फॉर मी इट वाज वेरी टफ, आई डिडंट इवन नो व्हाट इज अ टू स्ट्रोक इंजन। मुझे इंजन के वही पिस्टन रिंग्स ये क्या होता है, ये सब चीजें आई डिडंट रीड नथिंग। आई रिलाइड ऑन एनपीटीएल एंड मोस्टली ऑन यूट्यूब लेक्चर्स। यूट्यूब में अगर लेट्स से हाउ इज अ कार इंजन डिफाइंड, तो ये इसके टाइप्स ऑफ गवर्नर एंड गवर्नर के भी मान लो, ये गवर्नर इज अ फेवरेट क्वेश्चन ऑफ यूपीएससी, तो वो आते ही रहता है, तो वो उसके डायरेक्ट क्वेश्चन मिल जाते हैं। और फ्यूल इग्निशन, ठीक है, लुब्रिकेशन कैसे होता है, ठीक है, तो ये स्प्लैश टाइप लुब्रिकेशन या ऐसा, कूलिंग कैसा होता है, गवर्निंग कूलिंग एंड गवर्निंग सिस्टम ऑफ आईसी इंजन, ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है कि पैसिव कूलिंग होती है कि एक्टिव कूलिंग होती है। हमारे एक साल क्वेश्चन आया था कि हाउ डू इंश्योर, थर्मोस्टेट कैसे इंश्योर करते हैं कि कब वो कूलिंग रेडिएटर्स में पानी आएगा या फिर कूलेंट आएगा। डिफरेंट टाइप्स ऑफ ट्रैक्टर्स, अच्छा इसके लिए मैंने कवर कर रखा है, देखो जैसे मैंने फार्म पावर हो गया, वेयर इज द टॉपिक, फार्म पावर, मैंने उसके बहुत अच्छे नोट्स बनाए हैं। जैसे अर्गोनॉमिक्स ये क्वेश्चन आया था, ये मैं पढ़ के गया था, ये लोग पढ़ के नहीं गए थे, और ये क्वेश्चन एग्जैक्ट रिपीट हुआ क्योंकि मैंने क्या किया था, मैंने क्योंकि आईटी खड़गपुर इज द गोल्ड स्टैंडर्ड, तो आईटी खड़गपुर के जो सर थे वो अर्गोनॉमिक्स पर बहुत ज्यादा फोकस करते थे। तो व्हेन आई रेड कि यार ये अर्गोनॉमिक्स क्वेश्चन कैन कम, तो मैंने उसके ये सब इतने पॉइंट्स निकाल दिए जो नोबडी रियली न्यू, एंड इट हेल्प मी टू स्कोर लाइक वेरी हाई मार्क्स। तो इस तरह से अर्गोनॉमिक्स में बस इतना टॉपिक है, दैट इज व्हाट इज नीडेड। तो ये फार्म पावर में मैंने आई हैव कवर्ड इट मोस्ट ऑफ द टॉपिक्स। फार्मिंग हो गया, प्लांट प्रोटेक्शन इक्विपमेंट हो गया, हार्वेस्टिंग, हार्वेस्टर होता है, ये स्टैंडर्ड क्वेश्चन होता है, ये हर साल आता है कुछ ना कुछ रिपोर्ट में। उसी तरह से ट्रैक्टर हो गया, अच्छा ये टर्म्स वाला टॉपिक होता है, ये पहले आते ही आता है। ये मुझे बड़ा कंफ्यूजन होता था कि बायस प्लाई टायर हो गया, रेडियल टायर में क्या अंतर होता है, बायस प्लाई टायर में क्या अंतर होता है, नेट कोएफिशिएंट ऑफ ट्रैक्शन, ये सब टर्म्स की डेफिनेशन मैंने बना रखी है। उसी तरह से ट्रैक्टर के भी मैंने उसके काफी मतलब नोट्स बनाए थे, टाइप्स ऑफ टायर के और नोट्स बनाए थे, न्यूमैटिक और ट्रैक्टर के टायर्स। इंटरनल कंबशन इंजन जगदीश्वर सहाय के मैंने काफी, और जगदीश्वर सहाय ऑनलाइन, और मैंने क्या किया था उसकी यूट्यूब, मान लो 2 स्ट्रोक पेट्रोल इंजन है तो मुझे कोई यूट्यूब चैनल अच्छा लगा तो मैंने उसकी लिंक यहाँ पे पेस्ट कर दी। उसी तरह से मान लो उसके आगे भी नीचे क्या है 2 स्ट्रोक डीजल इंजन, उसको मैंने कॉपी कर दिया। तो ऑल दो थिंग, व्हाट इज द कैम शॉप, व्हाट इज द कनेक्टिंग रॉड, आई होप you people are able to see it in your हाँ, what is the crankshaft, what is the connecting rod, cylinder head, oil pump, I knew nothing about it. If you are from mechanical it is very easy for you, if it is you're not then it takes some time. So that is why ये valve क्या होता है, intake valve क्या होता है, all those things, all the topics I did from YouTube and from NPTEL lectures. Wall timing diagram इनका favorite question है, तो उसकी I copied the YouTube link and then did. So be very resourceful when it comes to it. उसी तरह से अगर मैं साइकिल हो गया, मतलब इंजन टर्म्स हो गया, मतलब इंजन टर्म्स में मैं बड़ा कंफ्यूज हो रहा था, क्लियरेंस वॉल्यूम क्या होता है, सेट वॉल्यूम क्या होता है, फ्लैश पॉइंट क्या होता है, फायर पॉइंट क्या होता है, इंजन व्हाट इज इंजन डिस्प्लेसमेंट, व्हाट इज वाई ट्रैक्टर में ब्रीदर यूज करते हैं, फायरिंग ऑर्डर क्या होता है, जैसे 4 स्ट्रोक इंजन। अब 4 स्ट्रोक इंजन वर्सेस 2 स्ट्रोक इंजन एक स्टैंडर्ड क्वेश्चन था। अब मैं बहुत स्ट्रगल कर रहा था यार, ये क्या, ये मुझे समझ में नहीं आ रहा था, तो मैंने तुरंत एक जगह मैंने यूट्यूब वीडियो पढ़ाया, और मैंने इतने तरह से आई डोंट नो 20 20 डिफरेंसेस लिख लिए होंगे कम से कम, 1 2 3 20 20, see I remember it even right now. So the thing is कि just these 20 differences and हो गए, एक स्टैंडर्ड क्वेश्चन हो गया, उनमें से 20 में से एटलीस्ट 10-15 तो याद ही आ जाएंगे। उसी तरह से व्हाट इज सक्शन स्ट्रोक, व्हाट इज कंप्रेशन स्ट्रोक, पावर स्ट्रोक, एग्जॉस्ट स्ट्रोक, 4 स्ट्रोक इंजन का मान लो क्या होता है चारों का। उसी तरह से व्हाट इज इंजन पावर, उसका मैंने उसका यूनिट कवर करने के लिए गवर्नर एक इनका अच्छा क्वेश्चन है, ठीक है। उसी तरह उसमें भी मैंने सेम यूट्यूब स्ट्रेटजी हो गई। लुब्रिकेशन, लुब्रिकेशन में भी मुझे समझ में नहीं आ रहा था, देन आई वेंट थ्रू यूट्यूब वीडियो, देन इमीडिएटली स्प्लैश लुब्रिकेशन हो गया, वो मैंने कर लिया। उसी तरह फोर्स फीड लुब्रिकेशन। तो these are standard questions that will be repeated here and there. इग्निशन सिस्टम में पढ़ के नहीं गया था, और अभी भी मैंने नोट्स बना लिए थे, नहीं असल मुझे कोई खास समझ में आ नहीं रहा था यूट्यूब वीडियो से। कूलिंग सिस्टम ये आना ही आना है, ये रिपीट होगा ही होगा, क्योंकि ये मतलब एयर फिन कूलिंग जो बाइक, मतलब बाइक इंजन में एयर फिन कूलिंग होती है, दोज हू नो बाइक वी नो। ऑयल कूलिंग क्या होती है, लिक्विड कूलिंग क्या होती है, थर्मोसेवन कूलिंग। उसी तरह से फ्यूल का भी एक क्वेश्चन हो गया, मतलब हाई स्पीड डीजल, वोल्टेज, ऑक्टेन नंबर, सेटिन नंबर, ऑल दीज क्वेश्चन। गियर gear repeat होगा, clutch repeat हो गया, burk repeat होगा. So I've just given you on how I prepared. You can refer to my notes also, but farm power में मैंने काफी exhaustive कर रखा था. But Jagdishwar Sahai book is, as per the sources, Jagdishwar Sahai book and NPTEL lecture, YouTube videos and my notes. ये 4 sources हैं. इसमें बहुत smart तरीके से, whatever you feel, sometimes you might feel that okay, my notes are not good enough, maybe you're not able to understand because they were meant for me, but although I've tried to highlight it here and there, so you can then rely on certain good materials from YouTube or from IS3 or Jagdishwar Sahai. I found Jagdishwar Sahai very good in this particular topic. So then we will now come to the next topic. This is how I prepared, and I prepared on all the topics that are there. So then now we will come to agro energy. So energy, so this is also pretty, जैसे मैंने भी जैसे बायोगैस, ये IS3 मैंने इसके नोट्स बना रखे थे एग्रो एनर्जी पर. अब जैसे मुझे पता है बायोगैस आना ही आना है क्वेश्चन. जैसे गैसिफिकेशन, ये रिपीट होता है हर साल, हर 1-2 साल में टाइप्स ऑफ गैसिफिकेशन पे, डाउन ड्राफ्ट, अप ड्राफ्ट, क्रॉस ड्राफ्ट. ठीक है, ब्रिकेट मैन्युफैक्चरिंग, ये भी एक क्वेश्चन आया हुआ था. मान लो बायोगैस, ये इस टॉपिक का सिंगल मोस्ट है. 3 तरह के बायोगैस प्लांट है, जनता मॉडल, दीनबंधु और फिक्स्ड रूम, केवीआईसी मॉडल. इनमें से कोई एक आ जाएगा या दोनों में से उसका कंपैरिजन आ जाएगा. डायग्राम बनाओ. ये कंपैरिजन का मैंने क्या किया, IS3 पे सर्च किया, उसी में कंपैरिजन दिया हुआ था, उसको मैंने अपनी तरफ से को पहले कॉपी पेस्ट किया, उसको डिलीट विलीट किया, कुछ उसको हाईलाइट किया, and that is my note. So when I'm revising it, I just only have to rely on these underline marks, underline things, and I deleted the other aspects and they work in principle. तो उसी तरह से this is like what is needed. उसी तरह से dual mode of engines, ये भी एक standard question है जो मतलब repeat हो सकता है. तो these are kind of, जैसे सोलर पावर यार आजकल YouTube वीडियो देख लेना. लास्ट ईयर में उसका बेसिक करके गया था, लेकिन थोड़ा उसका टफ क्वेश्चन आ गया था, तो वो उसका YouTube वीडियो था, लेकिन आई वाज नॉट रियली वो इन माय अटेम्प्ट एटलीस्ट वो आया था. तो विंड एनर्जी, उसका भी मैंने दैट आई डिड द सेम थिंग. आई डिड फ्रॉम दैट खान बुक, BH खान बुक एंड IS3. So that is what is needed. और कुछ करने की जरूरत नहीं. उसी तरह से टॉपिक वाइज है, बेस्ड ऑन प्रीवियस ईयर क्वेश्चन पेपर. जैसे कुछ टॉपिक्स हैं वो आते ही नहीं है. फॉर एग्जांपल मैंने आपको पहले बताया था फार्म स्ट्रक्चर्स में ये हॉग हाउसिंग आ ही नहीं रहा है रिपीट बहुत सालों से. ठीक है, मान लो आ भी सकता है, तो ऐसा नहीं है कि अपन बहुत ज्यादा फोकस कर लेंगे. मान लो एक पैसिव रीडिंग दे दी. उसी तरह से जैसे मान लो इसमें तुम्हें जो लग गया एग्रो एनर्जी में कि जो टॉपिक इंपॉर्टेंट है, जो रिपीट हो रहा है, वो तो अपन अच्छे से पढ़ेंगे. गैसिफिकेशन अच्छे से पढ़ेंगे, IC इंजन, रनिंग IC इंजन फॉर इलेक्ट्रिकल पावर, ये अच्छे से पढ़ेंगे. कुकिंग स्टोव मान लो नहीं आ रहा तो विल लीव इट. यार आई डोंट नो हाउ आई कैन कंबाइन इट. मे बी यू कैन कंबाइन इट. लास्ट ईयर जो मैंने शेयर किए थे लोगों से, एस्पिरेंट से, they had done it for me. I don't have time to do it, so they had copied it down. I would suggest either make your own OneNote and then copy it from me, like copy Control-C Control-V करके अपने में copy कर लो, so that your notes can be in better than mine. Or either if you want to make it in PDF, control थोड़ा अपने बीच में share करके, last year लोगों ने किया था from what I had known. हाँ, yes, काजल मैम notes are good. उन्होंने भी अच्छे से cover किया. They are like I mentioned it earlier. और मैम जब भी था उनका एग्जाम, तो उसके हिसाब से उससे ये पता चल जाएगा कौन से टॉपिक्स आर रेलेवेंट, एंड मेनी ऑफ द टॉपिक्स के लिए तो मैम हैज रिटन इट वेरी वेल, सो यू कैन रेफर इट. सो दैट इज हाउ यू कैन रेफर फॉर एग्रो इंजीनियरिंग. सो बी स्मार्ट. IS3 इज अ वेरी गुड सोर्स एंड दीज बुक्स आर वेरी गुड. नाउ वी कम टू एग्रीकल्चर प्रोसेस इंजीनियरिंग. सो नाउ इसके अब 2-3 सोर्सेज हैं. एक है NPTEL. जब भी आप सर्च करोगे NPTEL, मान लो लेट्स से दिस टॉपिक इज फ्रीज ड्राइंग मान लो, तो फ्रीजिंग स्पेस NPTEL करोगे, मतलब फ्रीज ड्राइंग ऐसे करता हूँ NPTEL. ये मैंने NPTEL से किए नहीं थे, लेकिन देखो फ्रीजिंग एंड फ्रीज ड्राइंग, तो अपने आप उसका NPTEL का लेक्चर खुल गया. सो इफ यू हैव टाइम यू कैन गो इनटू इट. इफ नॉट, बहुत सारे YouTube चैनल्स भी हैं जिसमें उन्होंने और भी कंसाइज वे में, NPTEL से भी ज्यादा कंसाइज वे में किया है. और नहीं है तो जो KM सहाय वाली किताब है, नेम इज KM सहाय एंड KK सिंह, एग्रीकल्चर प्रोसेस इंजीनियरिंग की. सो दैट इज लाइक द बाइबल फॉर दिस पर्टिकुलर टॉपिक. उसमें बहुत सारे चैप्टर्स तो ऑलमोस्ट फुल पढ़ने पड़ते हैं. दे आर सो रेलिवेंट. सो इफ देयर इज वन टॉपिक, तो उसका करोलरी टॉपिक भी यू विल बी एबल टू अंडरस्टैंड, ओके दिस आल्सो आई हैव टू डू. तो इसमें मैंने अपने नोट्स में काफी कवर किया था. फॉर एग्जांपल मैंने एग्रो प्रोसेस में, तो मैंने इसमें काफी मतलब आई हैव ट्राइड टू मेक नोट्स ऑफ मेनी ऑफ द टॉपिक्स दैट आर देयर. बट साइज रिडक्शन जैसे बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, उसमें एनपीटीएल और IS3 से मैंने और केएम सहाय से आई हैव कवर्ड इट, एंड केएम सहाय तो मुझे बहुत अच्छी लगी, तो वो रिफर इट एंड बेस्ड ऑन प्रीवियस ईयर क्वेश्चन पेपर बी स्मार्ट। लेकिन दिस इज अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट टॉपिक, इसके बहुत आसान और टफ क्वेश्चन दोनों हैं, क्योंकि these questions are standard। जैसे KMSI का जो फर्स्ट टॉपिक है वो टाइप्स ऑफ इंस्ट्रूमेंट्स पर है, वो वाले इंस्ट्रूमेंट कुछ ना कुछ रिपीट होते ही रहेंगे, रोटामीटर जैसे रिपीट हुआ था 2019 में, मतलब वो अल्टरनेट आते रहेंगे, तो उसका फर्स्ट 2 चैप्टर्स हैं वो तो जरूर पढ़ना, और बेस्ड ऑन प्रीवियस ईयर क्वेश्चन पेपर गो थ्रू इट। वो जरा पतली सी किताब है, दैट कैन बी डन, बट दैट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट। एंड इफ यू हैव सम फ्रेंड्स हु आर गिविंग द एग्जाम, तो ये करो कि एक चैप्टर एक फ्रेंड पढ़ो, एक चैप्टर दूसरा फ्रेंड पढ़ो, एंड देन एक्सप्लेन इट टू ईच अदर, so that can help you in getting, some of my friends had done it। So this strategy, because this topic is an important one। उसी तरह से मिल्क एंड डेयरी प्रोडक्ट्स हो गया। अब ये these questions are so repeated ना, मिल्क homogenization is asked every alternate year, cream separation, pasteurization, अल्ट्रा हाई ट्रीटमेंट, मतलब हाई ट्रीटमेंट वाला हो गया, HTST हो गया, UHTST हो गया, बैच वाइज हो गया, या फिर कंटिन्यूस हो गया, spray and roller drying। अच्छा, one thing is that if I mention spray and roller drying, you will not be able to understand it, but if I tell you YouTube videos, so you will be able to understand it very well। तो search spray drying and you will get the YouTube video on it, और बस फिर वही कॉपी करके वही छाप दो सीधे। उसी तरह से जैसे मान लो मैं बट होमोजेनाइजेशन का दिखाता हूँ, चाहे मैंने यहाँ लिंक कर दी, तो इस तरह से लेट मी सी। तो ये ड्रम ड्राइंग का मान लो, स्प्रे ड्राइंग का मैंने ये नोट्स बनाए अपने। तो दिस इज लाइक, ये मैंने क्या किया, IS3 से पहले कॉपी किया, फिर उसके बाद मुझे कोई अच्छा यूट्यूब चैनल मिल गया, तो मैंने उसमें इस तरह से आई मेड माई ओन नोट्स बिलो। तो उसी तरह से लाइक दिस इज द सॉर्ट ऑफ स्ट्रेटजी। जैसे मान लो इवेपोरेटर, सिंगल इफेक्ट इवेपोरेटर एंड मल्टी इफेक्ट इवेपोरेटर आता है, तो दीज आर लाइक यूट्यूब वीडियोस मुझे मिल गया, मैंने उसका स्क्रीनशॉट दिया, एंड आई कॉपीड इट एनीवे, and be resourceful about YouTube videos, and then you will get it। हाँ, they are in both papers, तो उसमें आएंगे एंड होते हैं, जैसे ड्राइंग के आते हैं कि परसेंटेज वेट बेसिस पर या ड्राई बेसिस पर an item is dried, तो फिर उसका वेट बताओ, या फिर find the original moisture percentage, so they will cover। milk processing is covered in KM Sahai, हाँ little bit है, but I covered it more from IS3, या फिर मेरे नोट से पढ़ लोगे तो उसमें है काफी कवर्ड हो जाएगा। IS3 एंड YouTube वीडियोस, इससे मैंने किया था ये पर्टिकुलर टॉपिक, बट स्टिल इसमें जैसे हर टॉपिक पर तुम जाओगे, इवन KM Sahai पे भी जाओगे ना, so you search for that YouTube topic or search, it is very difficult to imagine it reading the lecture, reading the wordings। So if you search for that particular topic, you'll get that idea of that instrument, okay this is happening, size reduction ऐसे हो रहा है, okay how this is the structure, that is that they are mentioning। So there are YouTube is filled with these videos, and they will help you in scoring marks। The other topic is, fourth topic is instrumentation in computer application। So ये दिखा है, I read from Kajal ma'am notes, read from my notes, and read from previous year question paper, because most of the questions they are not asking, जैसे इतने थे they are tough, they will not ask those questions, आएंगे तो होगा तो छोड़ देंगे। लेकिन क्या होता है, let's say if you're not from electronic background, I was from electronic background because but I know about it, but if you are not from electronic background, so then these topics you need a smart preparation for it, and उसके लिए यही है कि जो टॉपिक आए based on previous year question paper, prepare for it। this one particular topic है measurement system for level flow, ये structure and ये, तो this is like a strain, force, torque, pressure। इसका जो ना, जो KM Sai की किताब में फर्स्ट 2 चैप्टर्स हैं वो इस टॉपिक पर हैं, ये रिपीट होता है हर साल ये क्वेश्चन। इसमें इनफैक्ट वो पूरा चैप्टर अगर पढ़ लोगे यूट्यूब वीडियो देख कर, बी वेरी, मतलब डोंट बी शाय अबाउट सर्चिंग ऑन यूट्यूब एंड सीइंग दैट वीडियो। बहुत अच्छे चैनल है, जैसे आपने कुछ ना कुछ यूट्यूब वीडियोस आर सो गुड ना, जो इन सब चैनल्स ने खोल रखे हैं, तो दे विल हेल्प यू इन योर प्रिपरेशन। एंड this is the probably the most important chapter of this particular year। कंप्यूटर पे जो आता है वो क्वेश्चन आप जो ना प्रीवियस ईयर क्वेश्चन पेपर काजल मैम और मेरे वाले से करो। जैसे एल्गोरिथम और फ्लो चार्ट बनाने का क्वेश्चन आता है, तो कब हमें एल्गोरिथम बनाने में सर्कल यूज करना है, कब ट्रायंगल यूज करना है, कब स्क्वायर यूज करना है, इस तरह वाले, तो एक स्टैंडर्ड फॉर्मेट है, करके चले जो आ गया तो कर लेंगे, आएगा तो एक ही क्वेश्चन आएगा, हो सकता है नहीं भी आएगा, but this topic will be more important that I have highlighted. Rectifier, amplifier, just go through the basics. बाकी वरना ऐसा करने की जरूरत नहीं है, और बेस्ड ऑन प्रीवियस ईयर क्वेश्चन पेपर. तो जैसे कॉम्बिनेशन सर्किट एंड सीक्वेंशियल सर्किट मुझे इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स में भी नहीं आता था, बट प्रीवियस ईयर क्वेश्चन पेपर में मैंने देखा था. तो 2019 एग्जाम में आया था, डायरेक्टली आई कॉपीड इट फ्रॉम देयर बिकॉज मुझे आई न्यू इट बिफोर हैंड. So this is the smart way of preparing, and that must be attempted in exam. So scoring topic as such, this is not like paper 1 and paper 2 of like forestry. Here every question is attempt the question that you can attempt, because I don't think I got the highest marks, and I don't think I knew all the questions. मुझे मतलब इसीलिए I had to choose properly. So जो question आए वो करो. Forestry में तो was like you should attempt questions of section A and attempt tough questions, but here what questions that you should attempt it. Here it's not that you have to attempt very tough topic, but I mentioned the important topics which are tough: soil and water conservation engineering, irrigation and drainage, agriculture structure, okay, type important, farm power very important. Like these were three. Then agriculture process engineering. These are the 3-4 types important topics that will come here and there. This measurement systems आप जरूर कर लेना, आप देख लेना उसमें करके. So as someone had mentioned, I must which is better to attempt numerical or theory in choice. First of all, there is no other doubt. Every question, the 6 questions that are there, out of that you have to do 3. So the subparts may it will have one numerical for sure. So you cannot escape them. So that is like as far as I remember, it is. So at least one numerical you will have to do, and basically 3 numericals you will have to do, because 3 questions have to be attempted from those parts. Or sometimes in that compulsory question numerical may not be there, or sometimes one question may be there. So that depends. But that is why numericals actually क्या होता है, if you get a numerical wrong, then suddenly that 8 marker, let's say if that question is 10 marker, suddenly you will get only 1 or 2 marks for introduction. Acha, I forgot. For numerical, first of all, the format is there that you must mention what is given, the formula that is used, describe the formula. So whatever the formula is, let's say engine power is PLAN wala. So that you should mention, okay, this P is this, the units of P is this, L is this, A is this, N is this, N is the number of cylinders, unit is this. So इसके marks हैं. और बाकी क्या है, if you get it wrong, then उसके बहुत कम number मिलते हैं. You'll get very less marks. So that is why numerical पे focus होना चाहिए. When I got selected, I got good rank, but I got 2 numericals wrong because of getting the unit wrong. And somehow, like in my previous attempt, when I was not really prepared, I got numericals right. And this attempt, otherwise, it didn't make much difference in the end, but still, I tell you that it is very important, because suddenly out of 10, you will get 70-80 marks if your numerical is correct. But if you are not getting it correct, you will get only 1.5 marks for that formula, if you have explained it well. So that formula should be, because in numerical, we tend to run out of space. So that is why you should be very wise, because calculations are also there. So be wise in attempting numericals and decide. That is why I spent 10 to 15 minutes on attempting the numerical, seeing which questions you have to attempt. And sometimes you'll have to sacrifice also. Let's say you don't know the numerical, but you know the theory part. Then you should attempt that 40 questions. 40 mark is one question. So okay, if you're not knowing the 10 marker numerical, then at least 15 mark 2 questions of theory. So that will be 30 marks. At least that would be better, rather than skipping on a 15 marker numerical. If you do not know a 15 marker numerical, then it is wise not to attempt that question. But if you do not know a 10 marker numerical, then it is okay, at least attempt something there, here and there. But attempt like practice previous year question paper based on, like get it print out right now, today itself, compile it, read all the question paper, mark, like I wrote, I mentioned earlier also, I used to take it down, then write, okay, this question is from this particular topic. I used to highlight that particular keyword for that question. And basically, just in a few days time, you will know, okay, this is the syllabus for agriculture engineering. And these are the questions that I have to read. And then start from the tough topics, that the 3 topics that I mentioned that you have to start with: soil water conservation engineering, irrigation and drainage, and farm power. So these 3, and then agriculture process engineering. So these are how you should start, and how you should prepare. Any other doubt? And if you have any doubt later on also, because I understand that you'll have subsequent doubts when you start reading. But I'll mention how the books that I was mentioning it. I'll post it in my Telegram group also with the photograph. But I'll note it down. Agriculture Process Engineering, KM Sahai and KK Singh. Then it is a must book. Then Farm Power, Jagdishwar Sahai, along with NPTL. Obviously, NPTL IS3 is understood anyway. Then Michael Ojha, Volume 2 is better, although both Volume 1 and Volume 2. If you want, you can skip them also, but okay, if you want solved numerical, then you can manage. Then Vivian Murthy and Madan Jha. This book, Land and Water Management, I think this is the topic. But Vivian Murthy and Madan Jha book, it is compulsory to buy. Then R. Suresh also, I think you can manage the numericals from this book. And for agriculture, energy, if time is there, you can manage with the D.H. Khan book of non-conventional energy. So these are some of the books that I have mentioned. I will also post them. Michael Ojha, Volume 1 and Volume 2, both are there. I had bought both of them, although I referred them little for some small things, not all, but still they are good. So test series for agriculture engineering, earlier we did not have. This year I am seeing that there are some gate coaching that have come. Maybe they are good. You can try them out. If kya hoga, if they are not good, okay, right. It's better to try them, because you never really know, they might be very beneficial, and you might have the first mover advantage. Since you are the first person to go for that particular coaching, then it can be beneficial for you in that case. So you can try it definitely. But answer writing is not really relevant. It's just the practice of understanding the syllabus. So if you try to solve like previous year question paper and basically get an understanding, okay, this is the particular question and what all the points are you will be answering, so that will be beneficial. Okay, if this particular coaching is good, then definitely you can join. We did not have in our year, but definitely the competition is increasing, and the pattern, like more and more people are opting for agriculture engineering every year. So these definitely, if there is beneficial, you can join them. For forestry, some people had asked, test series is evolution, Shankar IS, they are all the same. So I mean, if you want to join, if you have time, you can join. Evolution, Shankar IS, these evolution is good, because I had in both of my attempts I had opted for evolution, and they are good. Evolution for forestry. But for Kajal ma'am notes, they are very good. They will tell you the syllabus. They are not holistic, as no notes are holistic. Kajal ma'am notes are like she has not written any irrelevant thing. Whatever she has written, like I referred them for Hornbill for forestry. Kajal ma'am note, like I was coming for Kajal ma'am notes, agriculture engineering. I referred from like that computer topic, agriculture structures topic, and I think one more topic. So they are like 300 pages, if I'm not mistaken, and they are you can refer them. I think PDF is also available online. Search them. I think in some group where you will get it. But they are. I would recommend them to anyone. You will at least know what all the syllabus is and what all topics you have to prepare, because all the classes are relevant. Okay, good. They are 400, then even better. Then uh, most every page of Kajal ma'am notes is relevant in one way. You will understand the topic. Hornbill classes are good for forestry, definitely. Yes, 400 pages. Then any other doubt that you have regarding anything that you come across, let me know. And if there is anything else also, book list I have shared. I will, if you're not finding any particular book, I'll share the photograph of that book uh, with you all in my sub group and in my Telegram group also. And I have tried to do answer most of the topics. Like I did not have this kind of guidance, and maybe that's why I made a lot of mistakes. But now at least you people are having a lot of guidance. There are a lot of coaching there, and in fact, I'm happy to hear that there are some agriculture engineering coaching also. And in fact, my result was we had late because of COVID. It was late because I originally had a plan that I will start like I'll have a mm, like coaching of what all the agriculture engineering, what all I have read. I'll definitely maintain a package for it. but I do not have time for it, and obviously don't have much time. But if these coachings are there, forestry, definitely you should join coaching. If gate coachings are there, definitely you can join. Test series also it is recommended because forestry is very competitive. Agriculture engineering, although I do not recommend, it is okay, but it is better to read. But still, for practice, you can join some or the other agriculture engineering coaching or test series coaching also you can join. Drainage system in agriculture, what source should be covered? Drainage systems, I have covered it anyway. Um, and IS3, NPTL and IS3. So these are the topics, like I'll mention, like these are my notes on drainage. So I have made it from notes of NPTL, singular drainage, pipe drainage. NPTL में हुगआउट इक्वेशन है, कुछ चीजें NPTL प्लस YouTube वीडियोस जैसे हुगआउट इक्वेशन और डार्सी डुपेट फॉर्चाइमर एजम्पशंस ये आते ही आते हैं, रिपीट होते रहते हैं. डार्सी वाइसबैक इक्वेशन है ये उसकी. तो इस तरह वाले मैंने तो मतलब बहुत कवर किया है, बट NPTL से तुम यू कैन रीड इट. तो लाइक आई हैव प्रेटी होलिस्टिक, मैं इसके अलावा और कुछ नहीं पढ़ता था. मोल ड्रेनेज, ये ड्रेनेज के लिए दिस बुक, देन मदन झा, मदन जो मतलब विवियन मूर्ति बुक, एंड देन NPTL. बस यही, मतलब इसके अलावा कोई जरूरत नहीं. लाइक आई फील दैट माय नोट्स आर वेरी pretty holistic there, so you don't need to worry about it. Any other doubt, Yuvraj or anyone else? Okay, then thank you so much for Evil. I've tried to my best to make sure that you people have the guidance for it, and all the best. Just know that 2 months are sufficient, and some of you will be selected for sure. Just don't give up. There are many aspirants in my batch and my friends who gave up, who thought, okay, how will we get selected? Or just after civil, some were so lazy, na. They thought that I put the effort after civil services exam. You will, in fact, in your exam hall, you will understand that most people will not even come to the exam hall. So that is a very sad part, because they have taken one seat of a deserving candidate. But the thing is that is for your benefit. You can prepare very well now, since you have the time. 2 months is sufficient. Just have 10 hours of study every day. Be a smart preparation, be resourceful. You should be able to understand that, okay, one topic can be read from 2-3 sources and then compiled. So in this way, I've tried to cover it every topic wise and also the book wise. If any other doubt is there, you let me know on my Insta group or in my Telegram group. I will definitely answer it. And all the best. And this is the golden year. And just be confident. Yeah, 151 seats, mate, is like an open goal. You just have to score it. But you have to score it. You have to put the effort for it. And like 150, you be like I hope to see you as an IFS officer. And once you are selected in IFS, now if you are giving subsequent attempts, then it reduces a lot of pressure on you. So that way में like उसके बाद civil services देते रहना अच्छे से, but take advantage of these 2 months and do not spend, नहीं मस्ती करने में मत waste करना, ठीक है? And all the best. And Mahesh sir, I'm done from my part, and I'm really grateful for Mahesh sir. I would like to mention this for sir, that I got 213 marks in interview because sir, when sir was discussing my DAF with my DAF, he mentioned me direct questions, and that came in the interview session. So I'm really grateful, and in fact, it is his platform that has allowed us to like interact with you all, and you people have got such good guidance because of sir's mentor role. I mean, his pioneering role inspires us. I'm just selected for 1 year, and it in Sir's effort. Sir is so busy in his immense schedule that despite the fact that he's so busy, he's putting so much effort to help you all. So I just want to help you all and give something back to the community. So all the best. Let me know if anything else comes up, and mains की अच्छी से तैयारी करो, and that would be all from my side. Okay.